Alright, everyone, welcome back to StackedDiceRP. This is our run through of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Change my background.
This is going to be our second episode. Last time we met our group, we had Zanzikoth, the Centaur, Castiel, the Asimar, Cray the Kobold, Arwen the Half-Elf, or not Half-Elf, High Elf, and Xanavor is the half-elf drow variant.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Specifics.
And then Kailani would be our Triton. So, the group all found each other after Kailani walked into camp, stumbling, looking for food, smelling fish on the fire. A battle ensued with some wolves, one dire wolf and a couple smaller, quicker wolves. We had a accident with a pinky and a penguin.
It's just a pinky. It's just a pinky. Don't worry about it.
I feel like it was more karma than an accident.
It's just a pinky. Gosh.
The group then found themselves on the way to East Haven. East Haven, they arrived to see what looked like a bonfire, and a group surrounded a platform pretty much. After sitting in the crowd for a little bit, they found out a little information on who it was, what was going on. A guard captain came up and talked to them and asked them to go look for some fishermen that had been missing for about a week now. They asked if it was okay if they took a nap and actually got a good night's sleep at the end, and that was agreed upon. So we're going to pick up actually as you guys are walking to the tavern. Cover maps for you. Don't mind the names, that's not who they are.
I am not a commoner.
Definitely not a berserker behind the table. Just a cool token. Pull you guys over real quick.
So this is after we slept, Zach?
No, this is you arriving.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep, you arrived to the White Lady Inn.
Is that bell that I keep hearing, is that in the audio or is that
Yeah,
someone's
that's the
doorbell?
audio.
It's the audio.
I swear, I kept thinking it was someone's doorbell. Okay.
It's my DoorDasher. I refuse to let him in.
I told him to leave it on the porch.
But they never listen.
Right?
No, they ring it 50 times while I'm in the bathroom. Like, dude, just leave it at the door.
I left specific instructions.
That's why I leave them a lousy tip. They don't listen.
Alright, everyone should be on the map. Make sure we have control of the characters.
You lost sound.
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, answer it. Yeah, what's going on?
oh shit, that's why.
Oh.
You have us muted?
No, sorry. Jesse's family just keeps calling him really quick, so he's
Okay,
so he's gonna take it.
Family, it's D&D time.
that's fine. Yeah, everyone make sure you can move your characters.
Yep.
Cool. Everyone see the map?
Find my. Oh, there we are.
Yep.
Here we are.
We're at the bottom.
Alright. So, as you approach up to this inn, you do notice that there is a female, what looked like half-elf, standing outside with a cart, and on the cart there's a bunch of looking like cool-looking lanterns. And she's just kind of looking around for people and sees you approach and waves at you, waves you down.
I'll trot over.
Two. It's like a market cart.
What time of day is it? Is it like more afternoon, evening?
This is like
Well,
probably about 5 o'clock
mean-
in the afternoon.
I was about to say it's perpetual night, so
Yeah. Yeah, so it's always fairly dark, but it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Is it the same levelness of darkness at all times, or does it get like darker and a little bit lighter at certain
It
times?
gets lighter, like almost a twilight, about 10 o'clock in the morning till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so there is some form of a kind of semi not as dark time. Okay.
Yeah, that's about the brightest that it actually gets.
hmm
But yeah, she's waving you down.
afternoon.
Hello. Would you be interested in a lantern? They're special, and I'm kind of doing some research up here, and everyone has a chance to kind of help out.
What makes them special?
Well, these are lanterns of tracking, and they're tuned to elementals. I'm currently looking for some small creatures that frequent the area.
Do you have a problem with elementals in the area?
Not really a problem. We're looking for them because we think they could help affect the climate around here.
Interesting.
Hmm.
How so? What? Explain to me how you think elementals can affect the climate of a town as large as this.
Well, not even just the town. We're hoping the actual area. The creatures are called chwingas. They bestow gifts on the people that do them well, and sometimes they bestow bane on the people that try to harm them. They're very, very elusive, though.
Could I do an arcana check to see if an elemental could affect an area?
Sure. A 17. I mean, from what you can think, a strong enough elemental could probably affect an area, but it depends on the elemental.
And I'm sorry, what was the name of this creatures you were talking about?
Oh, they're called chwingas. They're kind of like trickster spirits.
Hey.
Can you spell them for me, Zach?
Chwinga, Chwingas. I'll put it in chat as well for you.
Oh. What's on?
Eric, Matt, we recognize these.
Do we? I've never seen one.
Have I ever heard of chewingas, traveling around?
Not really.
No.
Yeah, you haven't really been in any areas, I would say, that they would
Yeah,
be
that
at.
I've been in.
Yeah.
Oh, how much for a lantern then?
Well, the lantern's free, and, well, the quest is if you can find a chewinga and bring it back, unharmed, preferably, so you might have to befriend them.
It must be unharmed.
25 gold.
For bringing back a chewinga.
Yes.
What do they look like? So, in case we see them on our travel.
Well, like I said, they're very elusive, but they usually have on some type of a mask. They're small, probably no bigger than my own hand. They're odd, almost childlike.
I haven't seen many chimichanga bigger than your hand.
Chewingas, sir.
Bless you.
Yes.
Well, I'll do it a shot. If I see one, I'll see if I can try.
Okay.
You are absolutely certain they must be unharmed?
You're not taking its blood.
It's not his
Preferably-
blood, it's his mask.
Preferably, yes. They tend to hide if you try to attack them.
Not if you use sedation.
That's a really big word. I never know what that is.
The common folk, I swear, they don't. He walks away grumbling because he's just dissatisfied. Whatever.
Pardon my rude companion here, but yeah, I shall.
I'm not rude!
Oh, here. You can each take a lantern. Like I said, if you bring one back unharmed, then I can give you 25 gold for it.
For each?
I only need one.
What if we bring back, a party of them? They don't want to separate.
I mean, that would be probably on them. It would be very difficult to catch more than one.
Maybe we can just find a different buyer. Apparently, there's a market for these things.
I'll take one of the lanterns.
Lantern of tracking.
Lantern of traveling elemental.
Tracking.
So she was offering them to everybody, right?
Yeah.
I will kind of scurry up and take 2.
You're carrying it.
Yeah,
I walk back.
Where's my book?
Okay, lantern of traveling apparently is not an offensive.
Would we need more than one?
Yeah, if
I
we
mean,
split up.
not technically, but if, yeah, for some reason, are you a group? Odd.
To be
Yeah.
determined.
There's definitely a lot of you. But yeah, each lantern holds about a pint of oil, and it'll run for about 6 hours on that. And then whenever you're within a certain range of an elemental, it will turn from an orange flame to a vibrant green. It doesn't exactly pinpoint the location, but at least you'll know you're in the area.
Well, it's good to know. You know where we might be able to find some oil?
Well, I'm sure you can buy it at one of the shops. They might have some in the tavern. I'm not sure. I just recently kind of traveled up here.
Might I ask where you're from?
Oh, down in Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Been around there. Never decided to go into it. Too many
Vibrant city.
people.
Beautiful statues. These are your lanterns of tracking. They do not have attunement, and they are set to only elementals.
All right.
Okay, I'll take one too.
First for 6 hours and 1 pint of oil, shading 30. Okay. All right. Is that I guess it's 300 feet in any direction.
Yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. And you said you just got here.
Yes, I'll be staying here, preferably. The local tavern. Is there another one? There's an odd halfling inside and keeps talking about the spirits.
Most of us just got here. We just got here as well.
Oh.
So we're not too sure ourselves. But yeah, good day.
Okay,
As I'm
thank
gonna
you.
just trot into the and take a look at my lantern and just kind of hook it onto my side.
I kind of scurry over to Xanavar, like, here, take the lamp. This could be good for studying.
Oh, fine. Give it here. Just takes it. Where's that? It is different, I'll tell you that. Well, fine. guess this is a thing now. I guess I'll carry it.
And just let
Can
me
I
know
deduce-
like when you actually light them up, because if you're in an area that isn't actually lit up, it'll give you light for your token.
Can I examine it to deduce anything else out of this lantern that I'm holding?
Like what?
Like any certain magical properties or anything like that? Anything that'd be useful to me?
I mean, you can roll an Arcana. That'd be fine.
Wow.
24. Yeah. It seems to have some type of divination magic used in the tracking of a certain thing.
Is it possible I can actually mess with this kind of thing and try to repurpose it to track something else if I wanted to?
It's an enchantment. You could always have it disenchanted and re-enchantment, but that's hard to do in the middle of nowhere. You'd have to find an actual city, like Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate.
Okay. So I can't just do it myself?
Probably not. It'll take a lot of time if you try.
Well, that's why I have created Protect Me, so I can do something like that.
That'll
He's
work.
talking a long time.
Yes, and you are there to protect me. Now do your job.
Good morning. Well, while they're all standing around, I'm gonna trot into the inn.
Okay. You watch as
It's cool.
Zanzikoff kind of like
Oh, wait, this is the
very
door.
quickly walks up the steps, because horses and steps don't really match.
Yeah.
I walk in after him.
And I'm hustling it because I'm getting cold and I don't like it, and I don't want my reading material to get wet from the snow.
Every 5 feet of movement costs me 1. No, every 1 foot of movement costs me 5 when it comes to standard climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a sign on the door saying no pets or anything like that?
It's not said, but you get the feeling that it's probably not normal for people to bring in large creatures.
Cray, you have to stay outside.
He just kind of gives you an evil look and just ignores you.
Nas, I'm happy you saved the guy without dark vision a lantern.
Yeah, there's a stable outside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Let's hope someone's penguin bear doesn't get taken away.
you technically also have a horse. It's not on the screen at the moment.
I'm here.
Xanavar.
I have a horse? Oh yeah, Cray, we have a horse, don't we? I forgot.
So
Make
we
sure-
tie that up somewhere outside.
Make sure a horse doesn't run away.
Yeah, is it cold out?
We're gonna
Or
forget
like
about
hot?
the horse, and we're gonna bring it up, and Nas is like, "Oh no, you want that? You know." Horse isn't-
And give it a blanket so it doesn't freeze. That might be useful, maybe. Yes. Yes, my blanket, yes.
Yeah, there's an overhang right outside that you can put both of them up under.
Don't eat the horse.
Mm.
Wait, was that Gwen or was that Craig?
That was
Horse-
Gwen. Penguins are really weird sounding. Just putting it out there. Listen to like 10 minutes of penguin sounds. I don't think I can mock them.
God.
You just hear, "Brrr!"
They're just large ducks.
Dude, penguins are assholes.
They can be.
I'm walking in here. I'm gonna scan the room for threats.
Well, you overheard something about an awkward halfling that was talking about spirits. He's sitting over here. He's got a bunch of candles and stuff around him. You also see what looks like a dwarf in the corner.
Oh my god, I thought that was an owl. I'm looking at that token and I'm like, why is there an owl token on there? That is a dwarf.
Oh,
Even
That's a big lady.
Even close up, it kind of looks like an owl.
And then this is the little halfling.
He doesn't have pupils.
He's cute.
Looks possessed.
jeez.
Yeah, he doesn't have pupils.
cute.
You'll learn later why. Yeah, but as you walk in, you do see there is a barkeep behind. Human. He's just kind of sitting behind the bar, making drinks, and you notice it's mostly like wine. You don't really see a lot of ale.
The drink of proper gentlemen.
But he just kind of nods to acknowledge you walking in.
A bunch of misfits walk into a bar. Evening. As I'm going to skip around, not move around the half room that has no pupils.
You watch as the centaur's walking through the bar, and the barkeep kind of just keeping eyes on him the whole time. There was literally a
Step
horse
on
in
his
my
stools
bar.
now.
And walk up to the bartender.
I'm going to sit. in a
Should have
little
tied him up outside.
I was gonna say, should we ask the bartender if we should tie him up outside?
Right. You were gonna get a horse hoof to the face before you do the rope.
Hello? How can I help you?
Ah, sure, I get the pipe. Hello?
Looks up. Oh, what do you want?
Well, I was wondering if we could get a couple rooms for the night.
You want a room? The room's
Yes.
upstairs. Is that a problem for you?
That's not to be seen.
We can stick him in the barn.
If not, we have a stable outside you could use.
Okay, how many rooms do you have available? There's quite a bit of us.
Well, we've got, I think, 6 in the backs that are still unused.
How much is it per room for the night?
We're gonna 5 silver a night.
Oh, silver not. How much for a stay in the barn?
For you, buddy, 2 silver.
I don't know if that's a discount or an upcharge, but I'll give him a gold piece for the 2 silver in the barn.
All right, he gives you back 8 silver.
Okay. Mind if I ask where someone could get some brew supplies?
Oh, you're probably looking at one of the shops in town more.
Interesting. All right. I'll take a bottle of wine. How much?
Glad you like wine. All out of mead. Well, looking at 5 copper for 1 glass.
For a glass?
Yep.
How much for a bottle?
Bottle. Looking at a silver.
I'll toss him 2 silver. Be fun. Keep it.
You're giving him 2 silver, so you want 2 bottles, or you want 1
No,
bottle?
I'm giving him silver and just keep the change.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start chatting with them if anybody else wants to start doing things. Basically about what's the town like, what are the people like. Just normal barkeep chit chat.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. What's everyone else doing?
That Xanavar, we need a room. Should
Oh.
I go? Should I get us a room, sir?
What? Oh, room. Right, we have to sleep. Right. Remind me of that. But yes, a room would be good.
Okay. He kind of skirtles his way over to the barkeep.
2 beds, or you sleep on the floor.
I usually sleep on the floor.
More for me.
I kind of. Can I even reach the counter?
No.
I kind of knock on the side of the bar.
Alright, well, Zanzikoth, you watch as the little kobold that's been traveling with you walks up and knocks on the side of the bar.
I just look down at him, kind of drinking a little bit out of my bottle of wine.
The barkeep looks down and then instantly kind of like jumps back for a second. Friend of yours? Says to the centaur.
Friend's a loose term, but
As long as he's not
he's one of the good ones.
as long as he's not a
Good
Mongol.
ones, air quotes, the good ones.
Yes. What can I do for you?
He just kind of tries to kind of put a gold coin up on the top, like a toddler, just kind of reaching up, tiptoe, putting coin up on top.
Pick it up and actually put it on the table.
He takes it from you before you get to the very top and then sets it on top of the counter.
I'd like a room.
Just for you or for friends?
Me and just one room for me and the smart ass in the corner.
I heard that.
There's a lot of those. in
You
here.
didn't hear crap. You're too busy.
He takes the gold and gives you change back. You get 5 silver coins back.
Thank you. And kind of just skirtles away.
You need the key.
No.
Why
Skirtles
did I
back.
hire you?
Goes behind the bar, grabs it, and hands it to you.
Grabs key, just kind of nods and skirtles away.
I want to know what skirtling is. I've never heard
Just-
that before.
Just kind of, I just kind of picture kind of like the way an animal just kind of like,
Scurries like a turtle.
yeah, well, like, but like I think of like like a lizard, kind of like how a lizard might just kind of like run up really quick and then stop. You know how like you see like a bearded dragon kind of run real quick across the floor.
I never knew
He's
it was called
skittering.
He's skirtling. I like
I
that.
love it. Skirtling.
Cute word. Cute word.
That's kind of how he. It's kind of how he like when he has something in mind. He pretty much just kind of dashes over there, but I don't think of it as like a full run. It's just kind of like he's gonna kind of do a quick little run, like a skirtle. Yeah, it's a skirtle.
I get it. I like that word. Kailani's actually going to move over by Arwen and say, "Hey, Arwen. So we're surrounded by a lot of guys. Would you maybe want to split a room for the night?"
Of course.
I didn't think that's where that was going.
Where did you think? Where in your dirty mind did you think that was going?
Are cameras invented yet?
So
Come over to Arwen.
I'll go get the room. So how much was the room?
Oh, it's pronounced scuttle, by the way.
That
I knew that.
is now Skirtle.
No, it's skirtling
It's now Skirtles forever.
Skirtles is only for the kobold. Kobolds now Skirtle in the Forgotten Realms.
Everything else scuttles. Priceless.
It's D&D, so it doesn't always translate the same way.
Different dialects. Oh, okay.
No, it's not. Wait, never mind. It's not scuttle. What am I thinking
It's
of?
scuttle.
Either
Well,
way.
scuttle is. Yeah, it was Goff. It's. Don't worry about it.
And looks at you as you approach. What can I do for you, lass?
I need a room with 2 beds.
A room with 2 beds. 2 beds, 5 silver.
Just 5 silver now.
Okay. I think you only have gold, so
Well,
1 gold is 10 silver.
1 gold. Yeah,
So I'll take the gold and he'll give you back 5 silver.
go for it.
And here's the key as well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Keep an eye out. Hands on your
pouch.
pouches.
What did you say?
He pretty much told you to keep your hand on your pouch, just in case. People like to pickpocket in this town, as you remember.
So I take it everybody in the inn right now, they like their hoods are back and we can clearly make out It's not like back in the street when everybody was all bundled up and they all looked like the same kind of.
Well, their face coverings are down, but they still have on their big coats, and there's a couple people that have the actual hood down, a couple have it still up. You do notice that there is both the halfling and the dwarf are kind of like opposite ends of the room staring at you guys in the middle.
Okay, well, Kailani tells Arwen, thank you for the room, and what do I owe you?
Don't even worry about it.
Okay, well, I'm sure that we'll have to stay at an inn, and next time I will cover our room. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I only wish that Gwen could come inside.
I do wish that as well. I do miss my little
Maybe
thing.
we can sneak her in.
When outside by
Yeah.
itself. It's gonna bite someone else's finger off.
Might bite it off yours tonight.
I don't think I could reach down to pet it.
Can I roll a perception just to see how hardly these guys are like staring at us?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna roll in here.
Is it a shady kind of looking at you?
Yeah, is it shady? Does it look normal?
Well,
They look fine. Okay,
they're,
cool.
they're looking. They might be looking at each other, and you're in the way. It's odd.
You're just like, me? No, not me. Oh.
They both wave at the same time. They're like waving back to one of them.
You think they're waving at you, so you wave back. No.
I'm gonna put that theory to the test, and I'm gonna walk right over here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna continue watching them.
The dwarf doesn't really pay attention as you walk away, but the halfling looks over and just kind of waves to you.
So I'm picturing almost like a fortune teller would be like at a bar that she wants to like read your cards. Is that kind of what the halfling is doing? He's got like
Kind of.
candles lit up and
Yeah, he's got like candles and
like a tip jar next to him.
not really a tip jar, but you get the feeling that he might accept tips.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll walk over to the little halfling and kind of start a conversation. Like, you there, small guy. I've noticed you've kept your gaze upon me. See something that interests you?
Why is it doing
Well,
this?
Big guy. Kinda. I was wondering because I'm looking to get a small group of people together. I'm looking to have a seance. You know,
Everybody's flirting with him.
this tavern was named after a ghost, actually, and I've been contacting her. And some people like to ask her questions, hoping that she used to be married to some rich guy. The tale goes, and everyone likes to try to get her to tell her where the treasure is and all the good stuff there.
Zan hears a ghost, and he just goes, God damn it.
I don't know if we are looking for another quest. We're on one as we speak. It's something I would kind of need to run by the rest of my group. So, who is it that we're looking for? You said a ghost. Yes, I get that, but
Well, no. I'm not talking about like a quest or anything. By the way, my name is Ronaldo, and you?
Ronaldo. Hi. I go by Cass.
Cass. Perfect. Well, I'm not really looking for like giving out a quest per se. It's more of a seance. Seance would be the word I'm looking for.
Ah, you're trying to connect to the spirits.
Yes, the spirit of the white lady who was married to the rich guy. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe we can get information. Maybe she sees things. I don't know exactly, but I've been able to feel the presence in here at least.
I trust you've done this before.
Once or twice.
I automatically sit down and grab hands with them. Guys,
It's like,
come
well,
over.
and it takes your hands.
Castiel's quite forward.
We're going to contact the dead.
I basically give the bartender 1 moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Brought over.
Yeah.
Ah,
Let's see what
perfect.
they're doing.
This little fella says he can contact the dead. It's something that he just needs some people.
No, and I've dealt with ghosts before. They're not always the nicest.
I mean, you're absolutely true. We do live in dark times, but,
Especially when you
perhaps
try-
the spirit of the White Lady can help. We're all not really in good times around here.
I swear to God, if this one tries to kill me as well.
I just kind of look over at Xanavar. And be like, kind of looking at him, going, don't.
Why are you looking at me? What do you want?
You would have biscuit.
I just give you the look like you know what I mean.
You think this is tomfoolery as well?
Messing with the dead is never a good idea.
Plus, it could do anything. You don't know what they could do. It could be saturated in satire. It could be anything. It could lie to you. They could make something up. It's all preposterous and, well, frankly, stupid. Sure.
Ilani would actually agree with Xanavor, I think, for the first time.
See, a woman of reason.
Now give me your blood.
That's later.
Xanavor, whenever you're talking about how it's stupid and we shouldn't mess with the spirits, the candle right next to you just goes out.
That's magic. Don't worry about it. Probably does it on command. Seen these power tricks back in Luskin, was it? This is where we're from, right? Cray, was it Luskin or was it? Oh, we've been so many places I don't remember.
Yes,
anymore.
sir. It was Luskin.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. So, magic candle. Not to worry. Just watch. Just goes and relights it.
The candle falls over but goes out again.
Damn it, Cray! Don't touch the candle.
I pick up the candle and chuck it outside.
See, it's nothing.
He skirtles to the door.
I skirtle over to it and throw it out.
It's a defective candle. Don't worry about it.
By the way, I just want to point out, because I looked it up to where I was getting this word from. It's used with crabs, because crabs scuttle when they go.
It's Scuttle.
Yeah, it's scuttle. Yeah, that's where I was getting it from.
But he
But anyway,
scuttles around the outside. He just skirts the place. It's a it's a mixture of the words. But yeah,
It's just my new favorite
Do
word.
I feel a cold breeze approaching me as well? Like, is there a cold spot now?
well, when Cray opens the door, you do get blasted with wind, and it is a little bit cold. But
See? Science. Not
door.
dead.
Ronaldo just kind of looks at everyone gathering around. He's just, well, let's. We got a lot of people here. Let's pull a couple tables together and all start to kind of pull the tables to one. That way you can all sit kind of around in a circle.
Ilani's gonna stand in the back.
Okay.
She doesn't want to participate at all. She'll watch, but she thinks, oh wait, I'm looking the wrong way. Yeah, she thinks what's dead should stay dead.
I'm
Going
gonna
back to my reading.
kind of look over and see what the dwarf is doing while this is going on. Just watch.
She's
a
just kind
distance.
of like leaned back with her arms crossed, just watching what's going on. Well, just pull everyone kind of around.
Well, what do you guys say? Should we just join hands and convene with the dead?
You are not touching me. Do you understand that?
Well, I wasn't. No, you're making it weird now.
No, I just don't want you to touch me. I don't know where your hands have been. We just killed wolves, after all.
A couple of the people in the tavern also kind of join in.
Well, we killed wolves.
Some
He
of
was
us
dead
killed
most
wolves,
the
some of us
time.
laid down.
Took a nap.
So, after everyone sits down, see some of the candles start to dim a little bit.
Ooh, ghost.
Ghost attacks. Cast. This is on you.
I'm casually taking notes because I'm curious what's going to happen.
You're gonna get the thing, but not.
Just a second. Alright. So the room kind of smells of burning incense. The fog the smoke from it clouds the room. Multicolored lamps and silks are hung from the rafters, and light from several candles illuminate a circle of uncomfortable-looking guests sitting cross-legged on the floor. Ronaldo pushes back the sleeve of his robe, raises his hand, closes his eyes, and intones. Lady who watches from the lake, come to us in our darkest hour. Tell us what you've seen. After a moment of silence, a thick frost forms in the middle of the room's windows, turning them opaque, and the candles start to go out, one by one. Ronaldo
It's just the
looks
wind.
around. I sense that she's here with us. Now, in turn, I'm going to ask you all to ask one question. And just kind of help me out. We'll start with you, Cass. What would you like to know about the spirit of the White Lady?
Oh God. Well, I guess I would ask, what's your purpose of the Lady of the Lake? As the Lady of the Lake.
It's the White Lady. Where did you get Lady of the
Whatever.
Lake from?
I don't pay much attention.
Is that a character thing or a Jesse thing?
Both.
Yeah.
Well, Ronaldo did say lady who watches from the lake.
Aha!
So you put some out of context words together and made a sentence.
Pay
Great
attention
job.
over there.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. We'll do this as a group, so the people that are actually in the seance can roll. So that includes Zanzikov as well. And if you want to, you can roll Arwen, and you can roll as well Kailani, even though you're kind of in the back watching.
Oh, you want me to roll?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looking good.
I'm rolling dice.
Give me a second. Sorry.
12 plus
I was looking at how to spell seance.
I looked it up too.
Well,
I didn't mean to do it.
Persuasion?
Okay. Yep.
Oh, God.
I didn't know it there.
Oh, wait, I have good persuasion.
Yeah, you all rolled pretty well. You watch as in one of the window panes, letter by letter, you watch it draw out the words hag near lake killing fishers killed husband.
Did you write that?
I didn't do anything. I'm literally holding hands with the other people.
Nas, could you write that down? Sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
You're cutting in and out.
I
It's the
can't.
assistant. I'm telling you, there's an assistant.
Look over at Xanavor. Yeah, I had a brain fart. I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Because you can't see them?
Kobolds have a lot of spiritual energy. They have a lot of contact with spirits. That's why I don't want you involved in it, because I know how dangerous it could be.
Well, the spirits have nothing to offer me, so I don't understand why I have to be involved. It's just mumbo jumbo, all that hogwash. It's just It's just fake.
As you're talking in the back, Ronaldo continues. Go ahead, ask your question. He looks to the person sitting next to you, Cass. Seems to be a younger drow. Probably not more than 14. Like, super young. And she says, well, what are the dangers around us? Are we in danger here? And then going off your persuasion check, I'm gonna have her roll just a persuasion, just to see kind of what she gets.
Eric. Stab myself with the pencil.
Good job.
16. You see on the window pane again, another window pane. So the before we're just still on the first one. Devil worshippers in castle near town.
Devil worshippers in castle near town. She asked, what are the threats around us?
Yes. And how about you, lass? Looks up at Arwen. Ask her a question.
Hanging out.
No? Alright. You, in the back? The Triton? Do you want to ask anything?
Oh.
I don't know if Kailani quite believes this. Like, I almost want Scurry. What the hell? I almost want to ask Craig to run outside to see if somebody's writing on the outside of the windows. But
That's the word I was thinking of. I was combining like 3 different words into one. I made a new word.
Turtle.
It's Skirtle from here on out, just so you're
yeah,
aware.
it really is.
In fact, your name is now Skirtle.
Skirtle the Kobold.
Sigh.
That's Colonel, don't drop things.
I don't know
Sad.
how we're still on this.
So you just kind of like back up away from the table or walk away?
Well, I'm trying to remember in the first session, the general was telling us about some fishers, but then she also mentioned something about a castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
People worshiping in the castle, and that there is treasure or something up there, or artifacts.
Something about the Netherese having a tower somewhere in the mountains. Well, not even the mountains, but like out in the tundra.
Great, go listen to that.
Okay, so
I sneak up.
Kailani does want to ask about the Netherese then, because she's been thinking about that ever since. She wants to hunt down artifacts and things like that, things of value. So, can I ask about the Netherese and what the White Lady can tell us about them?
Okay. Go ahead, and everyone can go ahead and roll a persuasion check again for me.
I think she meant the Nether region.
Yep.
Her,
You said everyone, Zach?
Anyone that's wanting to actually take place in this, yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Shit.
Shit.
Fine.
Oh, Arwen.
Oh. We are just amazing.
Was it persuasion you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Just say that's not my strong suit.
Mine
That's
either.
definitely not his.
You're horrible.
Yeah, that sucks.
16's not bad.
Yeah, good job, Arwen.
Well, it's not bad. Arwen, the one that wants nothing to do with it.
I don't mess with the dead.
What What would she know about the Netherese? Trying to find the areas even nearby to her.
Of course, I gotta go ask the question that makes the DM do like all this extra research.
Good.
I had no idea what you start talking about. Like, what are you talking about?
You don't remember that?
No, I thought you made that.
Well, I didn't remember 100% of it. I thought there was something to do with artifacts, and so as a character,
The
that's
Netherese were very magical people that we know of. And people have been looking for artifacts near the Netherese, where the place may have fallen.
that's what I remember.
So
Good note keeping.
it starts to write the word spire in ground, not above. In the middle of the tundra to our northeast.
To the north.
Northeast. You can guess it's northeast. She just writes 2 and then NE underneath.
Neat.
All right, so Kailani's gonna look over at Xanavor and just kind of raise an eyebrow, like, what do you think of this?
Xenivore glances up, sees she's nodding, just like asserting that he's heard it and he's quite interested, but he's not trying to give it away. Like a shut that down in my journal.
And Ronaldo looks at the next person sitting across from you. An older looking drow. You could probably guess this is the father of the younger girl. Says, I've noticed footsteps in the snow. Not ones brought by people. They appear without a person near. Do you know anything of them? The bottom glass fogs over a little bit more. And it says, dwarves stalk street. Hide near town. Invisible.
It was dwarves?
Dwarves.
Says in dwarves near town. Invisible.
Town's got a lot of shit going on.
Am I able to roll a history check to see if I know anything about that?
Yeah. Go for it.
Not gonna be great.
17?
It's good.
It's good.
You've heard stories in passing. People seeing footsteps through the snow, but there not being anyone there. It's happened in a couple towns, this being one of them.
Okay.
Ronaldo looks last to the centaur. And you, sir? You have a question for the White Lady?
Most questions have been answered, but I suppose one of us might ask, Is there really money left? Is there really a hidden treasure? And where, if we are, oh, what's the word? Not honored. I'm drawing a blank on the word. Basically, what I'm trying to ask is that, are we good enough to know the location of this treasure? If there is a treasure.
You
Worthy?
just see the
Worthy,
word.
that's the word.
You
I
see
couldn't
the
think of
word
what you're trying to say.
on the
Worthy.
window. You see the word yes, real, lost.
Want? Yes, real want.
Real, lost.
There was a treasure, but it was lost.
Lake.
Emma.
Treasure real, and it was lost in the lake.
You watch as all the words that were on the window start to drain almost, and it just starts to look like rainfall as the outside of the window, the snow, seems to unfreeze, and then it turns to ice. And he says, well, I think that's the most we're going to get out of her spirit tonight. We can try again, but sometimes she's not as talkative. Just saying.
Well, that was fun.
Well, it didn't attack, at least this time.
Ah, you simple-minded fools.
Speak for yourself.
I do. You are simple-minded fools.
Hey, roll 20. Good job. Errors. I'm going to go back to the bartender and keep talking.
Well, I mean, there's a simple way of finding out, I suppose, if we're going to go look for the fishers that went missing, if that is still our mission, and we come across the hag in the lake along the way, perhaps find some treasures, then I feel this experiment can be easily proven or disproven on our travels.
Do I know anything of hags, Nas?
You know that they're fae. And probably one living near a lake might be a sea hag. They're
Okay.
also known to be carnivorous.
Do I know hags to be alone or in multiples?
For that, you can roll an Arcana.
Okay. Did it go through? It did not. Oh, yeah, it did.
20, 30. They have been known to have what's called a coven, which is when 3 of them are together. But they are also known to sometimes lose part of their coven and remain singular.
Well, if you're looking for a hag, they don't always... They're not always alone. Normally, they could be in a coven, which could be up to a couple of them. But there is the rare circumstances that they are alone. They are fae, though. And with that, I'm going to walk back to the bartender.
So Kailani be familiar with the sea hag's like dwelling of some sort? Would I be able to easily spot it? Is it below the sea or on the coast?
It varies. It varies depending on the sea hag.
Okay.
This area, since
They're
there's
not,
so
like,
much
fully
ice,
amphibious.
since there's so much ice in this area, they could easily make caves, or they could have buildings as dwellings, coral reefs underneath in the lakes.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I guess like I said, we can easily discover the truth on our travels. And I'm not saying to take this too seriously, but keeping an eye out and preparing for the danger is
Well,
smart.
maybe if we find these hags, we also find the fishers. And whatever, other things the hags have drug in.
Because I'm so well versed in the Brotherhood of our kind of Brotherhood, would I know any knowledge about Fays, or not Fae, Sea Hags, like kind of magic or mating habits or anything like that?
You can roll me an Arcana check. An 8.
Damn.
No, you really don't know much about hags. You haven't really had to deal with them before. You know there's different types.
A dated one.
Real life, yeah.
Well,
That was interesting.
have I learned anything from the bartender about the town? Kind of, what's around, what kind of shops?
He tells you that there is another tavern. Even though the ferry is nearby to his tavern, the ferry owner, after the ferry got iced in, usually visits the Wet Trout, which is a popular tavern on the other side of town.
The White Trout?
The White Trout.
Is it a,
It's easily the largest and loudest tavern in East Haven.
Okay. So this is like, the old man bar, and the White Trout's like...
Yeah, this is where the weirdo goes to have a seance in the middle of a tavern with children.
Yeah!
You should feel at home, Austin.
Looking halfling with no pupils.
Now you understand why he had no pupils.
The half-drow that just wants blood.
Oh, it's more than just blood. It's just that's what I'm fixated on at the moment.
If you look behind in the token, you can actually see there's writing on that window right there too.
It's fake, I tell you.
I might have a handout for that. Let's see.
Does Zanzicock still have a bottle of wine?
Yeah,
Currently.
been drinking out of it.
I'm gonna fight a little bit by that guy.
Lush.
I'm gonna look to the dwarven lady. And what's your story? He's a ghost talker. What about you?
There's your handout of the seance.
Ronaldo. Okay, not Ronaldo. Okay. Hey, look, now we know how to spell seance.
And then here was the handout for...
It's like Beyonce, but seance.
Shut up.
Oh,
You are not getting dinner tonight for that stupid comment.
Scuttle.
Give your biscuit.
You need to get Skirtle under control.
Skirtle, behave.
Just gonna go sit in the corner.
You
Okay.
do learn also that East Haven, it's not the friendliest place, especially because pickpocketing is legal here. A lot of people will just want to take your coin and then not worry about you for the rest of their life. Um, Services are okay. The comfort also is decent. They have a couple inns. The speaker, his name is Daneth Whalen. I have, I think, a handout for him. There's a picture that he points to.
Now, did we heard of him from the guard leader, right? We never spoke to him.
Correct.
Okay.
This is the picture that he
Oh,
shows
God.
you. This is Daneth Whalen,
God.
the speaker of East Haven.
Is the speaker like the mayor?
Essentially, yes. The speaker is like the head person of the town,
Okay.
who makes decisions and so on and so forth.
Looks kind of dead if you ask
I'm
me.
gonna ask the bartender. And so the halfling's a spirit talker. What about the dwarf sitting over there by herself?
Well, last I heard, she used to be a bounty hunter. And I don't know too much about her. She's fairly new. Just came in town recently.
That's an interesting thing. Take another swig of wine. Well,
That is the crest of East Haven.
okay. Land, water, all covered by ice, and there's a giant spire. Okay.
You also learn that there is a sacrifice to Oral every month on the new moon. This town sacrifices a humanoid, and they do a lottery. So, if you're in the town and you pull the lottery, then they pretty much take you out and either put you on a stake in the middle of winter with no clothing and let you freeze to death there, or they just set you out into the wild with no supplies.
Well, I'm safe then. I am not a humanoid.
Other towns do other things for sacrifices. Some will sacrifice food, so they'll actually put like large catches of fish that they got from the lake and put it out on the ice so the seals and all the other animals can eat it. And they'll give up a day's worth of food. Some will also get rid of warmth, so pretty much there's no fires lit between dusk and dawn for the night. Pretty much forcing the locals to share body heat for warmth. Anyone who dares to light a fire is savagely beaten in those towns.
Good God.
Ow.
Well, we appreciate the information.
No, no problem.
Uh, well,
Good for a month, right? Because the sacrifice thing just happened, so we got.
Well, those are two different things, technically.
I feel like he was burned for his crimes, not burned for the sacrifice.
Oh, okay. So when is the next sacrifice set to take place?
Could he have been counted for the sacrifice, though?
Not technically, because he died in fire versus the cold.
Well,
Oral is
Unless
the
it was a cold fire.
magic.
Stranger things have happened, I suppose.
Yes, but our next lottery isn't for another week and a half on the new moon.
And do travelers to the town get included in that lottery?
Not usually. It's usually permanent residents.
As long as I have a different mailing address.
Yes, specifically. There have been issues. People believe that there's rigged lotteries and stuff. But we've never had any issue here, thankfully. Though there was a murder, someone thinks
No issues, but
No
wait a
issues,
minute.
no, but except the murder.
Well, the murder was weird because they thought that they were going to be the lottery the town did. And it was an odd course of events. They think that they switched out the ballot at the last second, and, well, the halfling was later found with a dagger made of ice in its heart.
We're halfling here. We stay on cap.
Oh no, not Ronaldo. Ronaldo's been here for about a week. Tells us stories. Says he's talking to people. I am not sure still.
And was there a trial for this murder? Was there...
They haven't found the person yet. I get the feeling that the dwarf over there, the bounty hunter, might be onto that type of case. I've heard her talk to a couple people about it, but none of them seem to take her serious.
Is that who she's looking for then? The murderer.
Maybe. I mean, you can ask her. She's here for the night, I believe.
I guess I'm gonna go and ask.
Yeah, be my guest.
I'm gonna pay that little halfling. It's like a silver piece, and I need to go get a room in the bartender myself, but we don't have to pay that one out.
Xanova, do you need anything to eat or to drink?
Oh yes, food. Right. I could use actually some food. Let's see what they have. Hopefully something other than fish. Luskin had nothing but fish. Let's hope they have something else. In fact, I will go with you just to be safe, because a cat or something might take it from you. I don't know.
Besides the torches,
Yes, master.
is there like a hearth?
Do what?
Besides the torches, is there like a hearth or fireplace at all?
Not really. Not on this map, at least. I had to pull this map up from another
You can go
module.
there, Eric.
But, cash for the room, it is 5 silver. He just kind of looks you up and down and nods to you. I'm guessing
I give
You're
him a
with the
nod
group.
back.
I'm guessing you're with the other group and you want the room as well.
Well, I think we're running out of rooms, and I'm not staying in the bar.
5 silver for the night.
Okay, I hand him the 5 silver.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind. I thought the going rate was cheaper, but never mind.
Nope, you already handed them 5 silver.
Oh, the stables. The stables were like 2 silver.
Right.
Yeah, mine were too.
Hold on a second.
Which I believe is for Vantikov staying, right?
I think
Stable.
probably.
Yeah.
Hands you the key. Like, well, the rooms are upstairs. He points over to the staircase over here. What's everyone else doing?
I approached the bartender, but brazenly, because that's what Xanafor does. He's not exactly nice or subtle. Just bartender person.
Kind of looks you up and down. Yeah, what can I do for you?
What kind of food do you have?
Got trout. Lots
Anything
of
else
trout.
besides anything else, like deer or anything?
Well, I got wolf, but might cost you a little bit extra.
How much extra is wolf?
Well, for a wolf steak, you're looking at about a gold. Trout, you're looking at about 3 copper.
Cray, what would you like?
I'm fine with some fish. If you want the wolf, you should get it.
Right. I will have the wolf, and Cray will have a trout. How much will that cost me?
3 copper and a gold.
And how much will that cost me without you poisoning my food?
3 copper and a gold.
You just said it.
Very well. I will give you 3 copper and a gold.
It takes your money, goes to the other side of the bar, starts fixing it up. Not wearing gloves or anything, just reaches into a cooler, pulls out a big old bloody steak, throws it down, starts cooking it. How do you want your steak?
Medium rare would be fine.
I'll do what I can. Flips it over. It still looks a little pink. It's probably closer to done, like medium. But
Can you get salmonella from a wolf?
Oh, you get that from fish.
Here, Craig.
Cray,
Bloody fish.
the fish that he gives you, it looks like it's pretty fresh. It's still got a couple scales on it, but they'll taste perfectly fine. Just extra crunch.
Cray doesn't care.
Yep.
Cray, is the trout acceptable to your palate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. If you messed it up, you would tell me, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Quit calling me sir.
Yes, master.
That's better.
What a Cray now.
I'm not putting him down. He's calling me sir. I am not old. Well, not yet, but still.
No, I said I want a Cray.
He's mine. Get your own. I bought him and saved him fair and square. Get your own. Now let's go skirtle over there.
Go
looks
back
like-
and eat at our table.
I think
Oh, we can sit closer if you want. I don't care.
looks like Zanzikoth is going over to the dwarf.
I think it'd be safer if we ate in the corner again.
Very well, let's
I was
go.
going to talk to the dwarf.
Go. Well,
Cray, are you left or right-handed?
Both.
so
Okay, switch me. I'm left-handed.
this is another option for a quest. So it does have a little bit of an intro, kind of backwards. Just another gruesome day in
Fuck.
10 towns. Howling wind, bitter cold, foul tempers, and snowdrifts big enough to bury a herd of moose. Moose? Meese? Not sure.
Mooses.
Moosies?
Jesus.
Meeses.
Skirtles!
But today, the local tavern is abuzz with news about a series of recent killings. Before the murders, the only question on everyone's mind was, will Summer ever return to Icewind Dale? Now the question is, will I be the killer's next victim? Nothing breeds fear and paranoia like a murderer with no face. 3 cold-blooded murders have been committed in the past month. A halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower in Bryn Shander. Each victim was found with a dagger of ice through the heart. What's the connection? The drunken lot huddled around the tavern offers no credible ideas, but sitting apart from them is an elderly shield dwarf with a nasty scar across her nose who looks like she has something worth knowing. She's been smoking her pipe and eyeing you ever since you walked in.
Creep.
It looks
Evening.
up to you. Well, hello there.
Kenobi!
I hear you might know something about this, the murder that's been going on.
I have an inkling of a plan, an inkling of an idea, but what's it to you? Are you looking to chase murderers, or are you just wanting information?
Just got into town and just getting the latest gossip.
Well,
Hearing the people, something's going around murdering people with the ice. And I heard you might know something about it.
well, that I do. By the way, name's Flynn.
You can call me Zen.
Nice to meet you, Zen.
Yada.
Well, a man named Sepik Caltro. He works for a small traveling merchant company named Torgs, owned and operated by a shady dwarf named Torga Icewind. In other words, Sepik gets around. He's charming, he makes friends easily. He's also Torga's bodyguard, so I'm guessing he's good with a blade. His victims, from what I'm guessing, come from only 3 towns that sacrifice people to the Frostmaiden on the night of the new moon. This is what passes for civilized behavior in Icewind Dale. Maybe the victims found a way to keep their names out of the drawings, and Sepik found out they were cheating. So he killed them. Maybe. Just maybe. Sepik's doing the Frostmaiden's work, I feel. I followed Torgs for a 10-day as it moved from town to town. Quite the devious little enterprise. But that's not my concern. What struck me is how comfortable Sepik Kaltra looked in this weather. No coat, no scarf, no gloves. It was like the cold couldn't touch him. Kiss of the Frostmaiden indeed. Now, I mean, I don't have all the info on him. I definitely want to have someone look into him, so if you're up to it, keep an eye out. I'd pay you, if you apprehended him, ascertain his guilt, and deal with him, preferably without involving authorities. Authorities come in and no one gets paid, of course. We lose out everything to them.
Could I insight her about like if she thinks she's correct about this?
Sure, roll insight. An 11? She seems pretty clear-cut.
And what might this setback look like? Can you spell his name in chat so I can for notes? Perfect. Okay.
And the group was called Torgas, or Torgs. The shady dwarf that runs it is Torga Icewind. Torga Icewind.
So Torga Icewind is the dwarf.
Is the dwarf that owns the company that Sepik is traveling with.
Okay. And what's the name of the company?
Torgs. It's just one R, Torgs.
What might he look like?
Well, like I said, he doesn't seem to be bothered by cold, so he should stick out if you find him. I believe he has very piercing ice blue eyes. Darker hair. Human. A little bit of gray in his hair, but I feel like you'll know him when you see him.
You were not affected by the cold. Interesting. Is he in town?
Not in this town, sadly, but like I said, it's a traveling merchant. Sure, if you travel to the other towns looking for work as well, as your group, I'm guessing, as you all walked in here together. Figure that you might run into him. Eventually.
I'll have to keep that in mind then, if we run into them. Might I ask, do you know anything about hags by the lake getting fishermen? I know you're new in town, but
No
bar
ideas.
okay. Well, if we do run into Suffolk, I'll be sure to keep an eye on.
Like I said, keep the authorities out, ascertain his guilt. So, deal with him, if of course it's done.
Do you wish to talk to him, or do you wish for him to be out?
If he's hurting people out, I don't want him to escape away from you and have a bit of a grudge. Like I said, I'll pay you 100 gold pieces if you take care of him.
You said 100 or 300?
100.
100. Okay. Well, definitely keep an eye out for a human not wearing a coat.
Guessing what's up?
Does he have any traveling guards? People who normally follow back up.
I mean, he is the guard for Torgas, so.
Okay.
So maybe best to get him away from them if you're going to have a chat with him.
Okay.
But I'm guessing, anyone else have anything else to do in the tavern, or would you like to go to bed for the night?
I think the night's winding down. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna probably head that way. We just ate.
Okay.
During that whole conversation, Kailani had a few glasses of wine, so she's got.
Okay. Everyone makes their way to their rooms. The wind, of course, kind of howling outside. Is anyone staying up at all, or is it just straight sleep through the night?
Cass is, well, yeah, he's going to go to sleep, but he's going to take a lot of his belongings and kind of hide them around the room.
Okay.
Like his coin purse.
I guess the horse and the penguin are also in the stables.
Yes, they're outside under the overhang, tied up right now.
Okay.
Cray will be sleeping on the floor.
Okay.
Good. More for me.
Where are our rooms in conjunction with the others?
It's all kind of rounded. It's like a hallway, and then everyone's room is around in a half circle.
Okay.
Arwen, I say when we get into our room, perhaps we put a chair under the door, or just something that would make noise if somebody tried to enter the room while we were sleeping. What do you think of that idea?
Kind of like booby trap it.
That's what we do. And then I go to
By the way, since you are kind of newer, a high elf only has to sleep. Technically, not even sleep. They meditate for 4 hours. So you can get a full night's rest in 4 hours, while everyone else needs 8.
Because I'll be reading.
It's elves cheat.
Yes, high elves do cheat. I agree.
Messing with this lantern a little bit before I'm going to bed. Does it give off like any heat?
It does, yeah. It's normal fire, but it just changes when it senses things within a radius.
Okay.
So, everyone can take a long rest, which means on D&D Beyond you go to long rest, and it should refill all your stuff. So if you're missing hit points, hit dice, so on and so
Not
forth.
that I have anything that I think would be increased, but I want to learn how to do that. There's a oh, I see it. Oh.
There's a button that says long rest.
Yeah, look at that.
You learned it.
You see it?
Roll 20, you still have to do everything manually.
Yep. Everyone wakes up in the morning. There was no issue overnight. Come back out. Naldo's not in the tavern with you, but you do see the guard captain that you had talked to before. She walks in. Oh, I'm glad I caught you. Glad you decided to stay. Like I said, I got you some supplies. Just figured it would help you out on the ice. There is a boat by the dock. Here, these are all for you. And she starts handing you what looks like little metal plates with spikes on them. And she's like, you can put those on your boots. It'll help you from sliding on the ice.
I just look at her like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be fine on the ice.
Put nails in his hooves.
actually,
Custom made horseshoes with little spikes on them.
actually, yes. Give me just give me a moment. You see her kind of run out, and she takes her horse and rides across town for about 15 minutes, and then comes back, and she's like, "Here, how are these?" And you see that they're in the shape of a hoof.
It'll work.
Well, I mean, it's the best I can do, but
I appreciate it.
I
So I
guess-
have hoof boots.
technically, they're like I think they're called crampons. I gotta find the word for it.
You say crampons?
I think so.
I think that's what I said.
I think that's what they're called.
You're right. They're crampons.
Makes a lot of Krampus.
You look them up. Yeah. It's okay. I think that was K crampon. No, it's not.
I'm just trying to find the actual handout for him, but I can't find it right now. Well, like I said, if you would like to follow me out to the dock, then I can get you the boat. You're on your way. Of course, you have to drag the boat out to the water, because it's kind of frozen near the dock. But maybe keep an eye on the lakeshore with the fishers.
Before we leave, I'm gonna buy another bottle of wine.
Okay. You can mark off the gold for that. Or it was silver for a full bottle.
For a full bottle, I believe yes. In that case, that's what I'll buy too.
Okay.
So I have two. I'll say I have 2.5 bottles because I would have probably finished half a bottle last night drinking it.
Cool. All right. So she
How
leads
cold
you
is
out.
it outside today?
It is pretty cold. Let me roll. Actually, who wants to roll for the weather today? You just need one person.
I'll chance it.
The D4.
What am I rolling? D4.
Yep. 3.
Damn it, Austin.
Heavy snow, but very light wind.
Hey, that's okay as long as there's not much wind.
Exactly. Wind makes it worse.
I might blow away.
I will tie you to me. You won't go anywhere.
You
Or we'll
might
tie
blow
you.
away.
We
Well,
can
we
also
can-
tie you to a horse if we have to.
You
Pretty
notice
skinny.
walking on the way down to the docks that the snow comes out to a little bit over Cray's head, so he kind of has to work his way through it.
Centaur. What's your name again?
If Craig dies, he might need to bring in a new character named Squirtle. What?
Centaur
That's-
person.
it's like
What is
an
your
off-
name again?
You call me Zan.
It's an off-brand
Yes,
of Squirtle.
Right. To the point. Can you carry Cray? I don't think he's going to fit in the snow.
How deep is the snow?
I think it's... How deep did you say the snow is, Zach?
It's about 3 feet tall. Like 3
And
feet
he's
tall.
2 feet tall. So
I mean, I'm only 5 feet tall. This is
Yeah,
rough.
It's a lot of snow. Now,
Are I guess the streets aren't plowed or anything.
Both of you get on.
not technically.
If the horse won't do it, he can get on my shoulders.
I have a horse.
Why
He
are you-
needs...
Okay.
Yeah, we have a horse.
I guess
Don't take this funny thing from me.
wait, I don't think we want to bring the horse on a boat, though.
Yeah, good point.
Wait, what are we doing? Sorry.
We're going towards the boats and stuff, so...
Taking a boat to the lake.
So are we just going to leave the horse here at the tavern?
Well, unless you know how to carry a horse on water.
It's what boats are for.
Yeah, just put a horse in the boat. It worked out so well for the people in Road to El Dorado.
Nas, that just reminds me of me getting a giant lizard in the boat back in the old campaign.
Yep.
That was fun.
I forgot about that.
One's just get on. Don't get used to it. I'm looking at the Triton and the kobold.
Right, well, climb on, Cray.
Okay. Okay.
Do I need to make an animal handling check?
Not technically.
He's not an animal.
He's part animal.
So she does tell you after you guys walk outside and you start walking, you see her walk the horse near you. She's like, you can also pick up snowshoes if you're having issues walking in the snow. They sell them at the tavern.
I think we should.
The tavern we just left.
No, the other one.
The nice and loud one.
The loud one.
I'm guessing the loud one is more expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we even see if there was an oracle?
No.
Probably do.
Can we make a pit stop at this other tavern and buy some goodies?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, you might as
I
well.
don't out of the way.
I feel like we should explore the town a little bit before we just leave.
Hush!
Bless you.
Dang it.
Kalani would like to shop.
Well, that's
I said, just remember, you guys.
I also
don't
need to
have
buy
a
some more
lot.
components.
I think I should buy some rations maybe too.
I think
Cray can fish.
yeah, we got wolf meat, and I think you all start with decent amount of rations to begin with.
Yeah, most
Did I start with
start with 10 rations.
Mm-hmm. And that's 10 days of food because you can survive on one ration a day.
So I knew that, but then at the beginning of the campaign, I kind of stumbled in all hungry. So I didn't know if that was the thing I personally didn't start with, or if that was.
I mean,
I don't know.
You may have just been lured by fish.
yeah.
I was hungry.
It was just story tie-in. You've got your stuff. You're good.
Okay, cool.
It was fishy.
Smells
So
We all gave you some rations.
Yeah, I did pull out
good. So
the
sweet.
token. So you're technically there at the White Lady Inn. Up to the north, you do pass by a large boat that is surrounded in ice. That is the East Haven Ferry. And then you are looking to go to the Wet Trout, which is on the other side of town.
Oh, the wet trout.
Yes.
I thought it was the white.
Me too.
Nope.
The white crown.
Yeah, I
The
kind
White
of
Lady and the Wet Trout.
You got it mixed up.
And the wet trout is the more lavish one.
And
I don't like the name.
Is there a
Wet
dry trout?
is the more rambunctious one. White Lady is the one that's known to be haunted and attract weirdos.
Is there a dry trout?
If you look for one on the fire... Oh, wait, you already ate the ones that were on the fire.
I want to go to a real bar.
Okay.
I miss bars.
So you guys can make your way over to the Wet Trout.
How long does that take us to get over there?
20-30 minutes. Just walk.
Walk. I'm riding on the back of this Zan.
No, you're not.
You
I
said
said
we
the
could.
short people.
No, he put me and the 5 foot nothing girl on bed.
Triton.
I mean, it's a
Hold in the
character, and
Triton.
it's also me in real life.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. We all kind of see a horse, and we're like, well, that makes sense.
You can take your own horse.
Fine, I'll take my own horse.
I was about to say, why would you ride the
Right,
centaur when you
right,
have your own
I
horse?
mean, you're gonna get
To give my horse a break.
So the Wet Trout, located near the docks, it's the largest and loudest tavern in East Haven. It's known for its ribald atmosphere and rumor mongering. There's a great chimney that's squarely in the building's center with hearths on either side to warm the tavern's 2 common rooms. The tavern's current owner and proprietor is Nemetra Miskin, a dragonborn of white dragon ancestry. She seems to be kind of crabby, just looking at her. And you see a couple small shrines to Oral in the bar as well. Also sitting at the bar, you do see a tiefling that already has a mug of wine.
A mug of wine just sounds funny.
Yep.
Well, so what are we doing here?
Getting oil for lanterns, I know that much.
Oil.
I'm gonna say the cast does not go in. He kind of stands at the door. He doesn't feel as if he needs anything at this store that you guys are shopping in.
Okay.
Are we currently at the Wet Trout, or is this a different store?
The Wet Trout.
Okay. Do they sell snowshoes for 2-foot tall kobolds?
Yes.
Stilts.
Okay.
Your shoe size is like 3.
Yes, let's get Grace some stilts.
Snow stilts.
Snow stilts.
It's essentially a tennis racket. They're snowshoes.
Yeah.
I love this whole.
How much are the snowshoes?
They run, I believe, 2 gold a piece. Two gold a set, I should say.
Damn.
Yeah, they're expensive, but it keeps you.
I think people.
walking.
I think also they know people are going to need them, so they increase the price.
Probably.
How much would it be for a tank of oil? I forget how much.
The oil.
I'm going to buy snowshoes.
Yeah, for a pint. So 1 pint of oil. How much?
You guys are throwing 17 different questions at me.
Sorry.
When's lunch?
Closing all my stuff. Nope. Yeah, it's 2 gold for a set, but it keeps you from dealing with disadvantage, or not disadvantage, but half movement in snow.
I think I had no movement in snow.
Pretty much, you had to burrow, and you don't have a burrow speed.
Yeah, I bought a pair.
Okay.
We'll also buy a pair. How do I know if I have any type of disadvantage in the snow?
Pretty much anyone that walks on deep snow has half movement.
Okay.
It also keeps you from getting stuck in super deep snow.
Do I have to buy 2 pairs? How does that work with horses?
I don't know if you could wear those.
We'll say that you can have front wheel drive and just kind of keep your front forward on it, so you don't have to pay for more.
Snowshoes for horses, and it's just
You have the back to the horseshoes, the crampons that have the spikes in it to keep you from sliding around from your tail end, and then you have the snowshoes on the front to keep you walking.
I don't know if a horse could walk around with horseshoes. I feel like they'd fall over.
This is D&D, guys. Don't worry about it.
You're overthinking a fantasy game.
No, I want realism in my fantasy.
I'll buy some horse snowshoes.
Okay, so pretty much anyone who's buying them take 2 gold off.
Right.
All right, I didn't buy mine at first, but when I seen them walking out of the store, all equipped with snowshoes on, I kind of put 2 and 2 together and realized I should probably get some.
Oh shit! I might want some of
When
those.
we looked in our snowshoes,
Well, it
and you
didn't.
were so
It
jealous.
didn't click with me until I seen the horse walking out with 4 of them on. Like, well, that's
I got 2 and 2. We good. And then I'm going to be looking for oil.
Oil.
That thing takes 1 pint of oil.
Yes.
I'm guessing it came with fully loaded, fully stocked.
Yeah, you start off with the fully loaded, and then you can get more.
Okay.
Lantern oil.
How much oil does a lantern hold?
I guess this is 1 pint. It's 1 pint per 6 hours.
Okay, accurate.
Also, if you click on the newspaper in the upper right-hand corner where it says journal, click under Appendix D, click magic items, and you can see the lantern of tracking and it's what it does.
I'll be back.
I'll be here.
Okay, so I found it. It is a flask. Is 1 silver per oil.
Okay, is a flask a pint?
Yes.
I'll buy 3 flasks.
Okay, so subtract your 3 silver then.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm good on my oil. And take a swig of wine.
The tiefling kind of watches you lift the wine up to your mouth from the bar, because you're still super tall wherever you go.
Yeah, I'm like 7'5", I think I said.
Everyone wonders why there's a horse in the building every time.
I'm 17.
He's horsing around.
Gotta show all them naysayers.
Yeah, but
Naysayers.
as you guys are now fully equipped with oil and snow gear,
Nobody else bought oil.
takes you out to the lake Lac Dinashir and shows you the boat. And it's like, well, if you drag it out that way, you can kind of see where the ice turns to water. You put the boat in there. And I would suggest looking around on the shore. Look for a missing boat, maybe. I'm not sure if anyone can see any debris maybe floating in the water, but those are my guesses.
Hey, before we get in the boat, I would like to go to the water's edge and do a little prayer for our group. And
Where are we at?
For safe passage.
Did we move?
No, we did not.
Oh, okay.
Technically, like here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Sorry, I was not anywhere around.
You're good.
Religion. You would think I would be better at this particular skill, you guys.
Yeah, and I mean 17. In D&D, religion is an intellect skill, whereas cleric is a wisdom class.
Based.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
That is weird.
But yeah, with a 17, you feel a sense of calm on the water, at least. Doesn't seem
When
like you'll have very much
pray into
issue.
your gods again.
Listen, Angel Boy, I'm praying to.
False prophets, yes, I know.
This is for your safe passage as well as mine, friend. And I would like to throw a couple of gold coins into the water before we embark.
Okay.
Distribute.
You don't
Clinking,
believe in ghosts?
splash.
Yes, you gods.
I don't believe in silly halflings in bars pretending to speak to spirits. But we
I think you're both crazy.
For once, I agree with you.
I don't know.
Your prayer feels semi-answered. You at least don't feel a storm brewing, like usually whenever your god is angered.
Scared forest walker. Guide us.
Let the magics improve our lots. Ooh, can we just go?
So, as you all start to get into the boat and take off into the lake, I'm just going to bring you to Icewind Dale map. So you are currently in East Haven, heading out on this lake.
Holy crap.
I need, for the person who you would think would be guiding the boat, to roll me a survival check. Whoever has the
Great.
highest survival.
Proficient navigator's tools.
Navigator's tools would give advantage.
Cray, navigate.
No.
No.
I'm 2 feet tall.
You can't see over the edge of the boat.
Guys, I got this. You're in my element.
He's like a kid on vacation where they let him, like, you know, steer the boat every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to touch the handle? You want to do it, buddy?
Honorary captain.
Listen, Cray, I adore
There
you.
you go.
I got this.
Okay, yeah. With a 15, you start to notice in the water every now and then you're seeing bottles of what looks like empty liquor.
Does the horse jump overboard?
No.
Wait, is the horse in the boat with us?
There-
Which
I meant
horse?
the centaur. Not the horse, sorry.
Half horse.
Grab one of those for me. Grab
But
Got a fishing net. He's trying to fish in the bottles.
instead of steering the boat, you're using the oar to bring them in. Okay, so
I can use those.
the water, as you get farther and farther, you're starting to see more of these bottles, and everyone can go ahead and make me a perception check.
Perception.
Perception?
That's everyone.
Perception.
Arwen with a natural 20.
Can I ignore the perception check while I'm trying to get bottles?
Cray, you see that wall in front of you perfect. You jump up and down a little bit, and you can see a couple of those bottles. It's great. Arwen, you notice off in the distance that there seems to be a boat kind of short on a shelf of ice. And it seems like a bunch of bottles are surrounded it. So what do you do? Do you tell the group, or?
Yeah. There's a lot of bottles. I'm gonna
Does it look like it could be a wreck?
possibly.
We're shaking the boat, Cray. Calm down.
Does it?
I'm trying to climb. I'm trying to climb up to the edge so I can lean over and look.
Does it look like
Pick
the
you up so you can see.
that are at East
I
Haven?
can do it.
Just Lion King it.
Yeah, on my screen.
Help him.
Zach, does this look familiar to me?
It's odd. It doesn't look familiar per se, but it looks like probably the people that were in the boat got drunk while they were out fishing and either crashed or went ashore to sleep off their drink. It looks like it's been here recent, but probably within the past week or two.
Does the boat look like the other boats that are at like East Haven?
Yes.
Is the house sort of the same?
Yes. As you get close, you can definitely tell.
This is more than likely probably the fishes that we're looking for. At least their boat.
So they probably got drunk and crashed, the idiots.
What lightweights?
I'm gonna
I'll
steer
say,
the boat
here's-
closer. Our boat closer
Yeah.
to the crash fisher's boat.
Okay.
Do I sense any bewitching magic in the air at all or anything like that?
You can make a like Arcana check, or if you have Detect Magic, you can cast that as a ritual.
I'm going to light
What?
lantern.
I do not. Oh, I do have that. I'll use Detect Magic as a ritual then.
Okay. So yeah, as you start to approach, and for the next 10 minutes, you start casting a spell. And once it goes through, you're not picking up any type of magic per se.
Okay. Well, my spell didn't pick up anything, so they got drunk is my thing. They fell in and froze because stupid people.
Just in case, I take out a match and I light the lantern.
Is there anybody in the boat that's from here, or is it just us?
It's just you guys right now.
Okay. Does anybody know if there's any creatures that lurk in these waters?
More than likely, probably.
There are plenty of creatures in all waters.
We've heard of hags. Is that
So,
Maybe.
take the rope and maybe use you as some bait. Get in some good fish. Probably pulling a big one.
As you approach the boat close enough to actually see it, you notice that the cliff side seems to have a couple paths in it. You see two that are probably about 20 or 30 feet up, and then one that the water seemed to go into, but is currently frozen.
So we can't pull our boat, all the way up to it because it kind of crashed in the ice. So we have to kind of stop and get out and walk. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Like, you pull your boat up, and then you can drag it onto the ice. Just,
Is this
Easy.
water or ice?
this is all ice right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we're just walking on ice.
Yes.
Better than
This point,
sunshine.
yeah.
I'll pull our boat onto the ice.
I look to Zan. Don't stand on it, you'll break it.
It seems
you're
pretty
on.
thick. This is really thick ice.
Yeah, I'm getting on the ice. Don't care what the dude says.
2
Good
years
trial.
of no sun will make very thick ice.
But he has a lot of water weight, so you never know.
I'll look him up and down. Is like, I mean, you're pretty heavy yourself. And I'm just gonna walk.
Ooh.
You smell funny.
You smell funny.
I'm pretty. To be honest, I'm pretty sure Xanavar is a skinny bitch.
Yeah. He weighs nothing.
Extra anorexic.
Okay. And
No.
yeah, as you're moving around, you also see around a corner of the cliff edge that you see one more, what looks like a cave. So you see 3 in the walls of the wall, and then one off the water that you could easily just walk through. The other ones you probably could climb up, but it doesn't look like too hard of a climb.
I'm gonna look in the crashed boat. Does there seem to be anything in there?
As you look in, it's got 4 sets of fishing tackle, 4 oars, and about a dozen empty bottles lying on it.
I'm going to take all the bottles
Okay.
and fishing tackle.
Okay. So you can add
And if we-
4 sets of fishing tackle, and then 12 bottles.
And we don't see any of the bottles, the other ones that even have like notes in them or anything like that.
No, some of them have a bit of alcohol. It seems like just a sip left. Like they probably just didn't want to backwash.
If you know how to fish for some tackle, I'm gonna. Once everyone gets near, and I'm gonna kind of try to just look and see how deep I can see through the cave. If I see anything moving,
It seems dark, but as you're all kind of looking around the boat, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. I do have my lantern on, so I'm not sure. It's 30 and 30, isn't it?
It's 30 feet plus 30 feet dim.
Okay.
Can I assist him because I'm gaining interest in this?
You start to make out what sounds like low singing, like sing-songy voice.
Heads up, guys.
Can we make out what it's saying?
It doesn't really seem to have words. It's more of like an ambience.
Are they coming from a cave? Nas?
It is not coming from the cave. It doesn't seem.
Oh,
I'm gonna stealth.
Okay.
I'm gonna cover my ears.
Yeah, Carolina's gonna plug her ears.
run over here.
Okay. So, as you both cover your ears, I need everyone else to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit.
Some creepy music.
Damn, I better pass. This is good. This is good.
I need you to click wisdom save. It'll be in the top left, I think. It should have extra saves.
There we go.
I'm pulling up your sheet right now so I can see it. It should say saving throws.
The
Top
box
left
on top left, yeah.
Wisdom, I think you have a +1.
That one.
What do you hear, Zanzikov?
Look at Cray being all wise.
Legolas, what do your elf eyes see?
Oh, shit.
Another natural 20. Good lord.
Damn!
job.
Arwen's on a roll. Literally.
Quick, everybody cover your ears.
Okay.
What? My ears are cold.
Yeah, none of you are affected by the singing, but you do see what looks like 2 creatures flying over the edge. And I need everyone to go ahead and roll me some initiative.
Did he say?
These are fun.
I did say initiative.
Oh shit.
Initiative.
On my person, right?
Yeah.
No, but I clicked my.
Make sure you click your token first.
Yep, make sure you click your token and then click your initiative.
Oh, those initiatives.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now I'm clicked.
I've legit never fought a harpy before.
Did mine go through?
Lauren's didn't.
Yeah, no.
You didn't click your token. It went through, you just didn't click your token.
So do I roll again?
You can click your token, roll, and then you change it to what you rolled first.
Kalani was distracted because she has her ears covered.
That work?
Who rolled a 5.13?
Well,
5.13 on their initiative.
Yeah, it went through, Eric. You just got to change it because I have a certain thing checked, and I have tiebreaker checked.
Oh.
So what it does is it takes your roll and it adds your dex to it in case 2 people have the same roll.
I've
Gotcha.
never seen that before. I was like, what kind of fucking magic is this shit?
Hacks.
So if you had an 8.
yours is an 8, Eric.
Oh, okay.
No, yes, I always have tiebreaker on because you'd be surprised how many times you get tied.
Jesse, what is your dex?
0.
Okay, so it'll have Arwen going first before you. Oh, wrong way. Descending. I need to put Gwen in. Yeah, 16. So, Cray, you're up first. You see these two feminine bird-like forms that are hovering on the edge of the overhang of the cliff.
Okay. Okay. And I'm stealth still, right?
Not technically. You're out in the open.
But I rolled so high.
Hide behind somebody.
You rolled a 28 on yourself, didn't you?
I rolled so high.
I'm probably buried in the snow.
I mean, that
26.
track.
I will say, yeah, I didn't see the stealth check before the 26. I will say you can start off hidden since it's the first roll. You just kind of flatten when you heard song.
I rolled so high.
He's in the snow.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at one of them.
Okay. 25 is gonna hit.
It was this one I was. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not clicked on the right thing. That's the one I was shooting at.
Top one. Okay. Sneak attack for a total of 11. All right.
And I'm going to attempt to run behind the rocks and attempt to stealth again if that's possible.
I don't think you have cunning action yet. Because your first level.
I don't have anything yet because I'm level 1, so no.
Yeah, so it would be an
So
action.
that's okay. Gotcha. I'm just gonna go behind the rock.
Okay. Gwen runs up to Arwen and stands in front of her. Kind of low growl. Harpy. Gonna fly 40 feet.
This be average.
Alright, so yeah, it just kind of flies up.
How
And
high
what-
are they in the air?
They're about 30 feet up
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
currently. They were like 50 feet up on the ledge.
Gotcha.
So, Xanavor, you're up first.
Okay.
You're up now.
Am I able to study this creature to see what kind of weakness it may have, consulting my book?
If you want to make a... I guess this would still be Arcana. I don't know what else that would be.
Not an investigation or anything like that?
Like, what are you looking for exactly?
I'm
there's
looking
not
at her. I'm trying to look at her physique and see if I can recognize somewhere in my notes that what her weakness might be.
You're
He's
not
basically
really
checking
sure.
her out.
Yeah. I can give you the handout.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make a.
That's what it
I'm
looks
trying
like.
to roleplay what I would do. Like I'm consulting my tone to find out what her weakness would be. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. I mean,
Hey kids, so I'm saying Zanzibar just checking out his
it doesn't look like it has any specific weakness.
Okay. With that, then I will do. Let's do a sapping sting. Actually,
Okay.
it's within. Well, is it within 30 feet of me?
Hmm.
Doesn't look like it. No. Fuck.
You can move though.
That is true. So
Run up there with me.
I have to get really close. So be about. Okay, I can move there. All right. So I'll move here. Now cast sapping sting on it.
Okay. And
Okay.
what does it need to do?
I set the vitality of one creature I see in range. Target must make a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d4 damage and fall prone.
Okay.
So it has to beat a 13.
And it was, you said Dex or Wisdom?
Constitution.
Constitution. Okay. That is a natural one.
Okay.
Nose
So it
on
takes-
the close one.
Yeah, the one closest to me that's flying above us, so it's gonna just fall straight prone.
Okay.
So... And it's 30 feet in the air, isn't it?
Yep.
That's gonna hurt landing. So, do we roll my 1d4 damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see if I can. Nope, another natural one back to back.
Wow.
So 3d6,
No.
8 fall damage.
Plus 1 damage from the spell itself, so 9.
Almost 1. Yeah. Anything else?
No. I mean, there's not much else I can really do right now.
Okay. Jesse, it's no longer in the air.
Yeah, it's prone on the ground, right?
Yep.
Batter up.
So yeah, I'm walking up and I'm fucking swinging.
All right. You have advantage because it is prone.
Yeah, I do. All
Be
right,
useful and kill it for me.
I will do what I can.
Great.
Advantage. Here we're gonna roll.
That's gonna hit.
Better hit. All right, and
All right. And we're
Just
using
one-handed.
One-handed. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So 6 damage. You just run up and slice it across the back as it's on the ground.
Ah, you foul beast!
Screams at you in pain. Anything else?
Nah, I ain't got level 1. I ain't got nothing else.
That's not-
It's technically not a beast, I know that.
I want to hit it, and that's my turn. Cool. All right, Arwen. What you doing? You see 2 of these creatures flying around. Well, one's currently on the ground getting hit by Cass.
Well, I'm gonna move down just a little bit. How far away is the one that passes by you?
50 feet from you. So you wouldn't really be able to get to it, and it would be a disadvantage to try to shoot it from range because it's
Yeah.
on the ground. So you can essentially get 30 feet away from where you're at with movement.
Can she use Craze and improvised arrow?
Not technically.
Oh.
And then you can either take a shot at this one that's 60 feet away with a bow, or you can take a shot at disadvantage at that one.
I'm gonna try to hit one. That's all. Still.
Okay. So go ahead and roll to attack. Are you using a longbow?
Yeah.
That's the damage.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah, still same damage. 23 is gonna hit. Very nice.
Great shot, elf.
Ah!
Longbows are awesome.
That's nice.
There's a reason why a lot of other people can't. They're hard to use unless you're a ranger.
That would be the end of your turn. That brings us to Zanzikoth.
I'm going to take out some flint and steel, smack, 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 as a spark will shoot out and hit the harpy. I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Okay. And roll to hit. Sixteen's gonna hit.
Woo, there we go.
Yeah, so as it's currently flying in the air, it gets shot by an arrow, and then as it's reeling from that, it gets hit by another mote of fire. Almost square in the chest.
I see things. Did anybody else just see that horse shoot an arrow?
I didn't shoot an arrow.
Or what did?
The elf shot an arrow, the horse shot a fireball, or firebolt.
Oh, it's even stranger.
And I'm going
He's
to
a half horse. We've established this.
I'm going to gallop 40 feet. This
I love the gallows.
Okay.
I really want the coconut sounds.
I
We'll see
know.
him trot.
I'm looking. They're like $18 for them, so
Got
Skirtle.
one that trots, one that skirts.
that's gonna be it. Though I don't have any bonus actions.
Alrighty. That brings it to the next harpy. Going to fly. Oh, it can't get there. It's gonna fly over here. Fly above.
You said,
Uh-oh.
Seeing that you're currently using a weapon to hit the other harpy, it's going to sing again, and I need for you, Castiel, to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Out of curiosity, I looked to see if you could actually buy already hollowed out coconut shells, and I'm not seeing that as an option.
No,
You are okay.
I'd say I see them packaged for Monte Carlo.
Brings us to Elani.
so Kailani is going to. She's gonna move up over here, and then I believe she's still within range.
It'll happen eventually.
Go away. All right. Oh yeah. So Kailani sees that Haggard-looking broad jump down off the cliff, and she is going to shoot at her with her sacred flame.
Okay, so that is a dex save, correct?
That is a dex save. Yes.
Right. That's a 5, so it's going to fail. Go ahead and roll for it. Eight radiant. And it was which one? The one flying in the air still, or the one on the ground?
Is the oh wait, pinpoint it. This one. That one.
Top one. Okay.
Top one. Yeah.
Not looking good. Anything else?
That's all.
Cool. That brings us back to the top of the round. Cray.
I'm going. This isn't a huge rock, is it?
Not huge.
As I'm gonna scurry up on top of it.
Skirtle.
Yeah,
Skirtle.
skirt. And I'm gonna shoot at the at this one like I did before.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. You climb up onto the rock and set your sight, and you clip the last of that harpy's flight speed, as it's gonna fall to the ground dead.
He's rolling on fire tonight. Good job, Craig.
Anything
Who
else?
gets an extra cookie today?
Anything else?
That's it.
Cool. Alright.
Renee hash biscuits.
No.
I'm just gonna run over here.
Go, Winnipeg, we go!
The harpy is going to stand back up and start flying in space. It is going to claw at you, Cass, for a 10, which is, I'm guessing is going to miss. Against Castiel.
Oh, 10, yes, that's missing, sorry.
Okay. And then you also watch as her grab this club off the ground and swing it towards you for an 8. So, little discombobulated, couldn't land anything. Zanzavor. Zanzakoth, Xanavor.
Okay. Let's see. Do I have direct line of sight? Or is it gonna be a tight shot if I? Yeah, it's gonna be a tight squeeze if I use firebolt, isn't it? Looks like it.
I mean, you could hit it, but if you roll a 1, there's 3 targets in front of you plus that.
Do it.
Well, after all, they are just people.
Risk outweighs the reward, let's go.
They're just people. I mean, they'll come back. If not, we'll find more.
That one burned.
I'll go for firebolt at it.
That's 20. That will hit
I hope so.
for 9 damage. Very nice.
So the 20 will miss.
All right. Anything else? Movement, bonus action.
Let's see. I want to move myself so I get a better vantage point. Not that it matters. I'll go to there, actually. So yeah,
Right in front of me.
right here. I'll go right here so I can get a better vantage point.
Cool. That brings us to Cass. It is flying in front of you, just trying to attack you.
Okay, so she is just right in front. All right, cool. Wasn't sure how high she was. All right, so just going with the old longsword.
Okay.
Throw it.
Go ahead.
Let's do it.
14 will hit.
Oh shit, I got lucky. That's going to be 5.
5 damage. Very nice. Nice big red gash across her stomach. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna stay right where I'm at.
I'll destroy the corpse. I need it for study.
That brings us to Arwen.
I'm gonna do where
Shoot her!
yeah, I'm just gonna shoot her.
Take another shot.
Come on, 1.
Ooh,
Damn it.
7. That is going to miss. She just kind of dips out of the way, watching the arrow fly towards her.
Cass's big head's in the way.
You going to move or anything?
You would?
Would you like to move?
Oh, I guess I could.
I mean, you had an opportunity to
And
just
brings it to Zanzikoth.
I'm going to charge in, moving 40 feet in a straight line.
Okay.
Runs over Cass.
First off, I'm going to stab it two-handed with a spear.
All right.
Takes it with him.
10. You miss.
Okay. And next, I believe I can do, as a bonus action, I'm going to try to hoof it.
Okay.
Which, oh wait, I don't have, okay, give me a second.
Bonus actions already? Jeez.
I get one.
Centaur, racial.
That's racist.
It is.
17 will hit though.
you hooked the shit out of her.
3
You
hoof
didn't hook
damage.
the shit out of her.
You miss with the spear, but on the upswing of it, you rear up and then smack her twice with your hooves.
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
Okay. That harpy is dead. That brings it to Kailani.
Oh fuck, I was not prepared. Yes, so well shit, everybody's in my way.
No risk, no reward.
I can't even get that far. If I shot again with my sacred flame.
Sacred Flame usually is just like it comes straight down. It doesn't benefit from any cover.
Yeah, it doesn't go through. You're not shooting it at it. It just kind of like appears on top of her.
Okay, so I pick a target and I can choose that target.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Dex save, please.
1 dex save.
Sacred Flame is kind of like a staple of cleric.
Ooh.
Yeah,
DC 12. It rolled a 12.
it beats it.
So that means that it beats it. So it dodges out of the way of it.
Hoo-wee. I tried to bathe you in holy light and it did not work. So I am going to move a
Your
little
god
bit.
failed you again.
I'm gonna come a little bit closer. How far am I? Shut. What? Aren't you an angel?
Oh, it's off, Angel.
But you can't tell me that God doesn't exist if you came from one. Okay, I'm gonna move. We can debate this later. In the middle of a battle, Angel. I'm gonna move right there.
All right, Cray. Everyone seems
I'm
to be
gonna-
surrounding this harpy.
I'm gonna hold my action for if a clear shot comes, like if she flies up and I have a clear shot. Otherwise, I'm just gonna hold my. I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay.
But if for some reason an opening does happen, then I'm gonna shoot her with my bow.
All right. Gwen sees everyone going after her and is going to run over and try to leap up and take a bite.
Do it.
That's a 20.
Do it.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, wrong one.
I want to go. There goes. 4 piercing. It's a little... gets a harpy leg, pretty much. Flying chicken legs. 4. Alright. That brings it to its turn. It's been fucked up by everyone. It's gonna take a swing with the club at Cass for 22 to hit.
Nope. No, yeah, that hits.
2 bludgeoning. You get bonked by it. Weakly.
He's down.
How much?
2.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, damn it.
And a claw towards Zanzakoth for a 10, which is gonna miss.
Yeah, it's gonna miss.
Xanador.
Alright. Because I'm curious, I'm going to use a Mind Sliver on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to take my wand and just do a little downward motion to drive a psychic spike into its head.
Mm-hmm.
It has to make a intelligence saving throw.
It's super intelligent. An 11?
Does not make it. It has to be a 13.
Okay. And what does that do?
It takes 1d6 psychic damage, and on its next saving throw, it has to take a 1d4 from it.
Okay.
So let's do the spell. If I can find it again. There it is.
So, Kalani, you watch as Xanavor starts casting the spell, and he holds out his hand and takes his other hand and smashes it in front of it. And as he does that, there's almost a force above the harpy that goes into her forehead, and the head just explodes. And that is the end of that harpy. It had 2 hit points left.
Splatter all over everybody around her.
Yeah, pretty much. As she falls to the ground. And that's the end of that combat. There are now 2 dead harpies.
So, good job, everyone.
Alright, find the one that still has a head. I need its eyes. Cray, help me.
Cass is a weird dude, and he's really kind of weirded out by you, though.
As what?
He doesn't take his eyes off you much.
I know, right?
I'm gonna gallop towards the cave and see if I hear anything.
Are we doing where you can attempt to retrieve arrows?
You can retrieve half the arrows that you use.
Spend.
Yes.
Do I have to roll for it?
I would say it's pretty easy to find in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you don't really have to worry about
See,
it.
I was just asking, like, I either way is fine with me if you wanted, if we were doing that or not.
Yeah, if it was like in a forest with a bunch of sticks and stuff, there might be an issue. But when it's in the snow, and you can usually find things pretty easy.
Can I essentially loot the harpies? I'm going to see what they have on them. If they have any clues. If they came across fishermen lately.
They have literally nothing on them. They are naked, flying women.
I'm going to attempt to take the eyeballs out of the one next to me.
I'm going to walk further away from that.
I'm assisting him because I'm helping him with anatomy.
I'm going to blank starely look at both of them.
I'm gonna take a drink.
I'm gonna check on Gwen.
Gwen's fine. She just nuzzles up to you and kind of purrs.
I'm assuming I should roll a survival check.
Yes.
And with advantage, I'm assuming, because I'm helping him.
Yes, technically.
Oh, hold on. My computer just went kaploopy. Okay.
That could be.
15. You are able to retrieve both eyes.
Okay.
All right.
I hand over 2 eyeballs to...
I take them. One of them I kind of put in a little flask looking thing, get like a little tube thing, kind of just smash it so I get the liquids out.
I thought you were about to say one I'm gonna pop in my mouth, and I was about to there.
One I eat, the other goes in a vial for later.
This is not Skyrim.
Looks kind of like it though, at least in the mountains.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye out on the cave, shining my lantern in there.
Okay. In the cave. I will actually pull you to the next one. See if this works. It's dark for everyone.
Hey, my horse is here.
I'd say I have not. God. We did not bring the horse into the cave.
Such a good horse.
Who here has watched Eric, what's that show we were watching? Disenchantment.
That's enchantment, yeah.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
started that.
I just want to say we're going into an ice cave and there's a horse.
Gotcha.
Gather you guys all up, see if that'll make a difference.
Oh, and all black.
Yeah, it went all black.
So is
For me,
Eric?
it wasn't showing anything, so I'm trying to fix that real quick.
Well, you accomplished in spreading that to us too.
Amazing. I'm so glad.
Don't give us COVID through the computer, damn it.
So can Eric's horse be the horse from Family Guy? The really, really messed up horse that couldn't walk or run correctly?
It's the dead horse. Well, it'd be the same horse when he's dead. They
Yeah.
I want the laughing horse from Disenchantment.
No.
Yes, please.
Okay. So
That's what I was referencing. I didn't know.
To get that horse.
I didn't know if Kalani had gotten there yet.
I still can't fucking see anything.
Because I see it on my screen.
Check out for 2-part traps. Eric, did you get that one?
2-part traps? No, not yet.
Yeah, from Disenchantment.
Bless you.
Oh,
I didn't get that.
that hurts.
Good, you scared me.
Damn, do I have to-
2-part traps. I don't remember that.
It's the cave of the single trap. You just
I
have
can't
no
remember it.
You
I don't know how
don't.
you've
It's
remembered
okay.
all this stuff already.
Because I've watched the show like 7 times in a row.
You watch
What?
it.
The third season?
I rewatch shows like crazy. Yeah, I've already watched the 3rd season twice, at least twice now.
I haven't finished it yet.
I haven't
Were you
finished it.
really? Because you were like an episode away from the end and you haven't finished it.
I thought we were watching it together, while we were drunk and stuff.
Just watch it.
Fine.
He wants it
Hey,
to
Naz,
be.
how's it going?
He wants it to be
activity
special.
Together.
It was a thing among friends and you ruined it. God.
Alright, guys. So, you are currently standing out on the ice. Like I said, one of the paths leads what looks like a river that is currently frozen. There's also a path up here, a path over here, and a path over here that you can climb up to. And there might be other things.
I don't see most of that.
I see 5 feet.
I can see what. It's probably because of where your character's sitting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
It
Oh.
moves. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I love that.
Yeah, it's all based on your view, what your character can view. It can be annoying, but it's really cool when coming into realism and
Oh, like,
practicalities.
I see the 5
All
foot.
right. Okay. I see the paths. I see that lake is frozen. You said.
Yes. All the water there is frozen.
Which way do you guys think we should go?
I can't see anything.
Well, move your character around, you'll see it.
It didn't do anything.
Well,
dark
your
vision?
character's blind.
Yeah.
You
have dark-
technically don't have dark vision, but you have the lantern, so I have to put that on there.
I out of character, I vote here.
Vote there, Cray, you sure?
And character I vote there.
I mean,
Go straight ahead.
that plan's better than no plan.
Real quick, since I'm in front of that water, that frozen lake, can you see below it?
Um,
I'm stealthing,
yeah,
by the way.
technically.
I mean, do I see anything below the water?
No, not really. There's mostly rocks and a couple, looks like frozen
Water.
plants and fish.
Okay. That is all. I will go follow Cray and his stealthiness.
Zach, did you see I rolled stealth?
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you
Everyone-
climb up the side of the ice wall and make your way into an entrance.
I rolled a 7 on my stuff. There we go. Now I can see.
I'm just gonna slowly make my way up here.
Okay.
I will let the two sneaky ones go first before I go in.
I've got to give myself everyone's view so I can actually see what everyone's doing on the stream.
Definitely the sneaky.
What do you see down there?
Please don't.
There.
There's
Boy.
bones.
Fuck.
Hey, I rolled a 7. I'm not allowed to be sneaky.
Okay.
Did you
So
say
yeah,
bones?
as you round the corner, you do see what looks like a wolf curled up among some bones and just currently chewing. It perks up its ears as everyone starts kind of walking towards it.
Or as Cass starts yelling.
Yep.
Well,
I'm going. I guess still stealth. I'm gonna go into the corner of the room.
Okay. It starts growling as you enter the room.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Like at me.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you
Yeah,
essentially
right.
entered in. It perked up at the sound of everyone walking in. So
Mhm.
they essentially ruined your stealth, and
Yeah,
it was looking
bastards.
I wouldn't say
no,
they. I would say Cass.
that's
more
not
than
true.
They.
No, only one other person stealthed with me, and that was the
Oh,
loud
okay.
horse.
Loud.
Yeah, the horse
Yeah,
went with you.
The would have
Let's
been
be honest,
fine.
you were failing from the start.
You were set up for failure. Sorry.
Take him out the pasture and shoot him.
I was actually trying to keep way ahead of you guys, but that's what usually like what a kobold or someone in that role, the scout, would kind of do. Either way, okay.
Yeah, we need to
Is
communicate these
can
plans.
I do a perception check?
Sure. It's currently growling at all of you guys. That's what I'm just letting you know now.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. I'm not in there.
I just want to. I'm just looking to see if there's anything to hide behind or to any other ways out or.
I mean, you see a back room past it, but
Mhm.
not much. It mostly just looks like a cave that it made its home.
This might be bad, but I'm gonna take out 2 pounds of direwolf meat,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna throw it over to this corner for you.
Okay, yeah. Roll me an animal handling check, and I'll give you advantage on it.
I mean, I just want to say I think that makes sense because if you're hungry and it's cold, then you have no.
You're gonna eat another wolf.
They would eat another wolf.
All the time.
I just wanted Canon to know that Kailani's not necessarily against that.
I say we just leave the wolf alone.
That's fine.
Yeah, as you throw the meat over, it lunges for it, and it starts eating it. And it just kind of backs into the corner, keeping its eyes on you.
Go
But
now.
it's not growling, per se.
Go, I'm speeding.
I'm gonna attempt to see if I can sneak past it or get past it.
Okay.
Elf, go.
And as you walk around the corner, it looks like a dead end.
I was gonna say, Usher. I'm gonna kind of signal to them to not come back here. There's nothing back here.
God damn it! I wish it.
Let
We're turning around.
let the sneaky scout sneak ahead.
I turn towards everyone as they come out. Go. Now let's Cray sneak in there first before we send everyone charging into a possible ambush.
Well,
And I'm just gonna. Well, let me do can I do a perception check in here? Just look see if there's anything in here. Maybe a possible value or.
Make a investigation. Because you're
Okay.
kind of looking around for things
Mhm.
in particular. 19. It looks mostly like old bones. There's really not much in here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get out without bothering this wolf.
Yep. It happily chews on the meat. It
Okay.
doesn't seem to pay you any mind.
I look at Austin. Are we calling you Zenny?
Zan.
Oh, Zan. Sorry. Eric said Zenny, and now I can't unthink it. Zan, that was fuck my voice. That was smart thinking. But there's nothing back there.
I've
It's
dealt with
just
animals before. They tend to leave you alone if you feed them. Just don't try to pet them while they're eating. As I just look to
glares at
them.
the half elf who just kind of probably doesn't
I am a troll.
realize it.
Also, a half elf. God, I just noticed we have 2 Zans.
Uh-huh.
I thought his was spelled with them like a Z-E-N. No, he's 2 Zan. Okay.
Except he doesn't go by Zan.
I mean,
So
I
it's
can
fine.
change that. It's fine.
He doesn't go by Zan.
Call me Mr. Tornado.
Let's find another path.
Pray over here.
Yeah, the other 2 look a little bit higher up, but you can still get to them.
Lead the way, Cray.
Ha! That's what you should be called. Lead the way, Cray.
It rhymes.
Pray, I want you to go first and report. So the rest of you idiots, wait.
Excuse me.
You guys can still follow behind, but like not on my heels.
Heard the tone of your voice. I will stand back here with my clanky
I
armor.
didn't even enter the hallway, but okay.
I take a
No,
switch
because it
bomb
could be a
and-
trap or an ambush. You people don't think I swear.
That is stealth. Yep.
Go through you, dear wolf.
Just gonna roll through here.
I will stand at the entrance just in case I need to run in to save him.
Yeah, the path splits, and
Okay, and this looks like it goes down for a good while.
and then you see a bridge in front of you, but it kind of looks like it descends a little bit, probably about 20 feet in total, and you see another room at the bottom.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna look down here.
Okay. In this room, you notice that the wind going through all these pillars in front of you, they're currently ice covered, and it looks like some type of like mineral deposit. But the wind just kind of begins to moan and groan as it passes through it.
I signal for the all clear.
All right, Cray says to come in. Let's go. Come on. Let's crack on, everybody.
I'm gonna check down here a little bit further.
I would go a little bit inward, kind of to follow closely to Cray, but I don't know. Like, because I can't see where you're at, but we're gonna guess. Can I tell in the snow which way he went?
You get a perception check.
Perception check. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're not sure. I mean, his feet are pretty small. Hard to tell.
But you weren't looking for... He's got the snow boots on, though. Look again.
I'll try and look again, see if I can find it. But usually his tracks are distinct. It's easy.
We'll essentially give you advantage, and this will be the last roll that you can get. So.
Oh, fuck.
You get advantage, so roll again.
Well, that was his advantage, because he got one.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
I'm not used to looking for snowshoes. I'm used to looking for little tiny feet.
Yeah, you're not positive. Pray, as you go into there, you notice that this cave has what looks like ancient stick figure drawings carved into the northern wall.
Okay. Alright. But there's no sign of any creatures or anything in here, right?
No.
That I see. Okay. I'm
gonna
going
guess
to go up here again.
This way.
I think we should go that way.
Okay,
I'm
that leads out.
Guessing.
Okay, I'm gonna head back to them.
Okay. Yeah, as you round the corner, Pray, you
It's
see
up
everyone
north.
going the other way.
Ah.
It appears to be safe back here.
How did you get over there?
Xenophil, wrong way.
What?
They're some weird stick figures back here on the wall.
Is there another dead end?
Stick
Yes.
figures?
But they're stick figures.
Zach, keep going your way.
I think we should look at them. Is there anything in here?
Very well, lead the
No.
way.
Just the mineral deposit columns, pretty much.
Okay.
There's a dead end over here, but how did
Any-
you get past the horse?
I'm gonna whoever wants to follow me, I'm showing them to the stick figures.
Stick figures. I'm curious now. Horse, get out of the way. Thank you.
Can't see if you guys are following me now. Okay.
If you're wanting to look at the stick figures, you can make me a history check.
Okay.
Over here.
Hey, off topic, real quick. How do you guys scan your map on Roll20?
This is the module it came with it.
No. How do you scan it left and right?
If you right-click, you can drag the map.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can zoom in and then right
There
click.
you go.
There's also, if you click on the on the bar on the left where you have like the mouse point, there's also a glove that I think does the same.
Hand view.
Maybe not.
Yep. Then you can just pick it up and move it. 360.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks. I was struggling. I was on the struggle bus.
I always zoom the map out super big, like super small, so I can see the whole map.
All right, Xanavor, with the 16 history check, you interpret that the carvings show what looks like frost giants wading up a river to a cavern that contains a hot spring in which they drown themselves.
Literally drown themselves?
That's what it says.
There's no other interpretation, like as in drinking it?
Should be an easy fight.
Unless they're in there to drag us in. So there's a spring upriver that they drown themselves in. Could this be a sacrificial chamber that they're going to? Could this be where they die of old age? I don't know, but it's fascinating. I really want to explore more now. What do you think, Craig?
I think we should be wary.
Yes, well, to test if the water's hot, you'll be the one touching it first. You know this, right?
It's not any different than normal.
Good. Give me a little pat on the head, like just trying to show some compassion.
It's
like-
like a really awkward pat on the head.
Yes, right, you are, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna head back down here. Did anybody else move forward, or I don't know if Austin was
They
going
didn't
forward.
get past where you were.
Okay,
I didn't go to.
okay. So I guess whenever we meet up here, there's a bridge up here. It looks like it kind of goes down into like a gully maybe. Up ahead. I didn't go past it though.
Wait for everyone else, then go past it. Be careful.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Ray, about how deep is it?
go to the edge.
Okay. You do see that the bridge is pretty slippery looking, but you feel like with your crampons on your shoes, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. There is a bit of a fall, about 20 feet below to the frozen river.
Okay.
Is there anything like a rock or something that's somewhat heavy that I can push onto the icy water below to see if it's like thick ice or just like breakable?
Not currently, not where you're at.
Okay. I mean, no, we're in a frozen wasteland, but it's possible that it's creating a heat pocket in here.
I'm gonna attempt to cross the bridge.
Okay.
Please don't fall. I only have one of you.
I'm gonna stand at the end of the bridge.
Yeah, like as you're crossing, you're hearing the ice just kind of crack under weight, but not enough to where you think it's gonna fall. It's just
Am I able to stealth?
yeah, if you want to.
Okay. So I don't want to. I don't want to be like a. Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
As it gets to the end of the bridge, I'm gonna start carefully crossing.
Okay. Yeah, same thing.
I'm gonna stay right here. I'm not gonna go any further.
It cracks to acknowledge your presence, essentially, but it doesn't break.
Okay.
Cray, as you walk into the next area, you see this camp contains, or this cave contains like a abandoned campsite.
Does it look like it's fresh?
Um, you can make an investigation.
Okay.
I will attempt to go across slowly.
Could I help him out since I'm basically right next to him?
Sure.
Okay. Roll again, you have advantage.
Aye, aye, Captain.
22. Yeah.
Hey.
So looking around, it looks like it's not super recent, but you do find 3 pages that seem to have some type of writing in it.
I'm just gonna.
What languages do you speak?
Isn't there a thing we can just click and it does it, or is that just roll 20?
I think it's mostly just roll 20.
Okay. Where is it? I speak Common, Draconic, and Basic Thieves.
Okay. Yeah,
I thought I had
looks
one
like
more.
just
I thought I had
scribbles to you.
Undercommon. Yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm just looking around the room.
I'm gonna pick up the pages then. I read Sylvan, I know Thieves' Camp, Common, and Giant.
Okay. Let's just make this easy. Does anyone know Dwarvish?
Shit.
No.
None of us know Dwarvish.
As
Yep.
common as it is, nope.
Nope.
I do have comprehend languages. Does that count for a spell?
I believe you can use it if you have it prepared.
If you want to waste a spell on
I
it.
can cast it as a ritual, though, can't I?
You can.
Oh,
Let me see.
I don't know. What was ritual?
Yeah. All right. Then I will motion to Zan. Let me see. Let me cast this comprehend languages spell, and I will read it. So give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, he hands over the journal, and the pages they're torn out. It looks like, and they're partially burned, but they're still legible. After the 10 minutes pass, the anonymous dwarf's musings about the cave read, "These caves are sacred to the frost giants. The carving on the wall suggests that the giants came here to drown themselves. Did they use the hot springs as a sacrificial pool? Question mark. The wind truly sounds like a wailing woman. One could easily go mad in this place." And then the last page reads, "I think there's someone living in these caves. Shortly after discovering the hot springs, I heard what sounded like a granny singing. When the song ended with a shrill laugh, dread sunk its teeth into me. Ye gods, that horrible cackle. I shall leave these caves in the morning and never return."
But did he leave?
Well, it seems we were correct in thinking this might be a sacrificial chamber, but from what this journal is telling me is that this dwarf, I think, could be anybody, he thinks there's someone else here, which who would live in this place is beyond me. It's not comfortable at all.
Well,
But
the hag.
well, it could be a hag, it could be anyone, because he's saying it sounded like a little old woman cackling, but also singing. And he swears that the wind in here is moaning like it's alive, which I've never heard before. It's just, it could be writings of a madman, or he could be onto something. That's the problem with these. Could be either way.
Seems to be a dead end. Let's head back and go through the other way.
Is it a dead end?
It is a dead
Yes.
Okay. Then very well. I don't like this bridge at all.
I know.
end. Before I leave, I'm gonna pick up the bedroll.
Are we gonna say I already pocketed the journal, Zach?
Yeah, it's just 3 pages. So.
Okay.
Is there a bedroll there? Like, actually, how there is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up the bedroll.
Okay. I'm gonna add a bedroll to your inventory.
I have an idea what I'm gonna do with it.
Make a giant bedroll.
I wonder if we could walk down this river.
Do you see a path?
The bridge is like 15 feet above the river, isn't it?
20 feet above the river. You do know that there was another path that looked like the water coming from the lake was frozen into there.
I feel like we should go up north.
That's where we're going.
Is that north?
Yes.
These maps are tilted a lot of times, so.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Very well, Cray. If you think we should go north, I shall follow your lead. You're a sneaky one, after all.
Well,
That's
we
where
are a group.
That is true. But then again, we all decided to walk in together to a direwolf cave, so forgive me if I'm more trusting of you than our associates.
I look at the giant horse next to me. Just look at him.
I just looked down, like, we're already going north. The extra cable, it's like it might lead to the river.
Very well, let's go north.
Well,
You have to go down to go up.
Yes.
Oh, we have to go down here.
No. God damn it, Zach. You had to go
Wait.
east to go north.
Essentially,
just
where
means we'd be
Kailani
back.
is, there is a frozen river, and you've
we
got
would
the
just be
feeling
back.
that-
We would just be backtracking just to go here, anyways.
Yes,
This
but
is-
right now we're 25 feet in the air.
It's not that high. I mean, it is for me.
2d6 worth of damage.
You figure it out too.
We have ropes.
I'm 1,300 pounds. I'm not jumping off a building.
The frozen river.
If I land on you, you're dead.
If we land on you, it'll be a
Is it-
mild discomfort.
Is it like a cat when if you knock a Thanksgiving turkey off, you'll kill your cat?
What?
Does anybody?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
frozen
like an
turkey.
Yeah, that's an actual thing. Like pets die all the time from that because their turkeys fall off the counter. Yeah.
Because stupid owners.
So yeah, you start walking down the river.
I'm going to attempt to stealth again if you're cool with that.
Okay.
Do you want to check up north before we follow the river?
Up north, Nada.
North leads to the other path we already took.
No.
We took
the
the.
river through the bridge and up the north.
Oh, and I don't know where we're at.
Well, just be quiet until we tell you to move.
Let's keep
In this
quiet.
case, you go first. You have more health than me.
Go, wizard. You might find some blood. You go first.
It's not Triton blood. It's not the same.
So Cray, as you approach, this looks like it could have been a waterfall, about 10 feet high. It's a sheet of ice. It looks like it can be climbed, but you'll have to actually make a check for it.
Okay. Be an athletics check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, yeah, easy enough for you. You just scale up it, no problem.
Say it may be ice, but we are good at scurrying up and down walls.
Skirtling.
It's skirtling. We know that.
Hurtling.
You see another path that you didn't see before as well.
Okay.
I motion to the others. Come on, we're losing him. Come on.
I just
Nice.
sit here. I wait
Knights
for
have
them.
to, Knights have to climb my wizardly self.
Athletics check.
It's gonna go amazing. Let's see.
19. not
Oh,
bad.
it did. Wow.
You are able to climb up to the next area.
Well, no guts, no glory.
7.
Ah, shit.
So,
Damn, Paladin.
Paladin gets up. Ranger.
I'm only 5 foot
does
tall,
not.
guys.
The real question is if the horse can make it up.
can
Natural
jump.
20.
I jumped it.
Just stands up, uses the other side of the horse.
You should
He
probably.
just steps.
You should people
I
on the
run
back.
40 feet and leap directly onto it.
Well, it's a 10 foot, and
And
what you're
slides 20
seven
feet.
you're
Okay.
7 feet tall, so that's not really
So-
that big.
So
This is actually kind of a good cinematic round out for the episode. As everyone begins to climb up the waterfall, most of you get to the top. But as you're making your climb, both Kailani and Arwen grab almost the same piece of ice, and it breaks. And as it breaks, you also see the water behind it starts to swirl out of it and stand up next to you.
Oh.
As you see a creature made of water.
no. Wait,
here.
was my thing going off?
It was not currently because it was frozen. As soon as it was unfrozen, it changed.
Okay.
So the light goes green and the water comes to life before you. We are going to end our episode there, as it is approaching a fight and also approaching past our time to stream. We will be back tomorrow, hopefully, with Dungeon of the Mad Mage at 6:15. And we will be back on Sunday with Princes of the Apocalypse at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And next week we'll be back at this fight. You guys will get to fight a water weird. Fun times, fun times.
He's a fun.
Thank you all for stopping by, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Hey.
Bye.